Hi, and welcome to Crafts with Ash DIY and Decor. My name's Ashley, and today I put together a really festive and really magical Christmas decorating marathon. This is how my house was decorated last year, and I can't wait to share it with you. First, if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you're notified anytime I upload a new video. I have so much fun content coming up, so I wouldn't want you to miss a thing. All right, let's jump right into Christmas decorating. It's finally time to tackle this front porch. I am so excited. If you're new here, I have a very big, very long front porch, and I love decorating it throughout the seasons. It's one of my favorite places, but let's make things merry and bright. So truth be told, I forgot to take a before shot of my front porch. So this is actually footage from a video. So truth be told, I forgot to take a before shot of my front porch. So this is actually footage from a video a couple years ago, but it pretty much looks the same. But I am just showing you how long this front porch is. So the easiest way that I could design how to decorate it was to split it up into sections. So you have the porch swing, then you have this little sitting area, then you have the whole front door section, and then another little section on the other end. And I just found that this was like the easiest way for me to kind of just come up with ideas. Now, the theme of this front porch is very rustic, and it's going to be Christmas tree farm. So you're going to see a lot of greenery. You're going to see your traditional colors, but like I said, very, very rustic. So I decided this year that I was going to add a garland over my front door. I have never done this before, but I actually had an extra garland from the staircase. So I am just tacking up those like U bracket thingies, and I'm just hammering them in, and I put one on each side, although you are going to see that I end up moving the ones on the ends more towards the corner. And then I am simply taking these pipe cleaners and just putting them on each one of the brackets. Now I am going to take the middle of my garland and just loop the garland around the pipe cleaner. And that was it. That was how easy it was to hang. Now, you are going to see lights. There are lights on this garland. However, of course, when I hook them or plug them in, they didn't work. So you are going to see me put new lights on the garland as well. Okay, so now is when I decided that that little bracket thingy needed to go closer to the corner. So I'm just going to go ahead and move that over. And then we're going to add our lights. Now this took 2 strands of, I think, 200 count lights. I don't know how many feet. I just got it at a local grocery store, but luckily they worked, so I went ahead and put the lights on. Now, don't worry about all those pipe cleaners. We are going to hide those in just a little bit. Now, I didn't really like how when the garland hung, it was like out to the side, like it just didn't hang straight. So I'm going to go ahead and add another one of these little bracket things, and I'm going to tie it down so it's nice and straight along my doorway, if that makes sense. You'll see it better in just a little bit, but I did go ahead and do this on both sides.
Told lies. I can only hope that Santa Claus and my records agree. Then maybe this year Santa's coming home to me. I have found the perfect tree and just to the nines. I've even made little gingerbread Santas. There's nothing
Next, I'm going to go in with this roll of burlap, and I just have this in my craft stash. This is when being a hoarder of craft supplies actually pays off. And I wanted to make this garland very, very simple because we are going to be putting a lot of decor in front of the garland. So I just wanted it to be simple, but I did want to add ribbon or something. So I thought since I was going the rustic look, I would add the burlap. So all I'm doing is just starting at the bottom on one end, and I just looped it through the pipe cleaner that was there. I'm going to go up a few inches, loop it, and then just use the branches to go ahead and loop the ribbon through, or the burlap through. And I'm just going to do this around the whole garland. Look how pretty those lights are. I think they are so gorgeous. I love them. Now, if you hear some noises in the background, that is my little 13-month-old Charlotte. She's playing with her toys, so I apologize about that. But I love how this garland came out. I am going to add a few more things, but this burlap was just the perfect addition to the garland. Now, in each corner, I'm going to add these bells. I thought they were perfect and rustic, and I got these from Hobby Lobby last year. I used them on my staircase. However, I decided that it was just a little too bulky, so I didn't mind moving them out here. So I'm going to put one set on each corner of my garland. And then to complete my garland, I'm just simply going to add this bow. I believe this bow also came from Hobby Lobby. I am going to have to go back and get a few more for my staircase, as I did steal this one from the staircase, but that's okay. But I thought that this was a perfect pop of red. Plus it was kind of burlappy, so it kind of joined rustic and magical sparkly together.
Okay, the garland is done. I love it, and I think it'll look better with the stuff that I'm going to place. So I think that it's time to do that. I ended up not cutting off the burlap here. I have a bucket that's going to go there, and I kind of want to tuck the lights in there because I think it'll light up that too. And then I just went ahead and put this bow. Oh my God, that one tail is driving me nuts because it's wrinkled. I might have to like take it down and put something flat on it, but I don't know. I might run to Hobby Lobby. Today's a Sunday, obviously, so it's closed. But I might run to Hobby Lobby and see, I don't know if they have anything better, more rustic, but I don't know. I kind of like it. I like the pop of red, and I just think I love these bells. To be honest, when you're looking at the house, the front porch blocks a lot, so that's why I didn't go crazy with the garland, because I wanted something but not a ton. But like I said, we're gonna decorate all this, and it's gonna just look so rustic and so pretty. So all right, let's sweep this off. Look at all the pine. And of course edited this part out of the video, but as I was putting the lights on up there, I got a piece of that garland in my eye, and I had to run in and dig it out. So that was fun. But anyways, all right, let's get back to work because I'm gonna lose light here in a little bit.
So I do want to let you know that I have a ton more fun content coming your way. We still have to decorate the living room, the dining room, the entryway, my bedroom, the Grinch bathroom, and I am hoping to do the home tour. So definitely hit those notifications and turn them on so you can get notified when I upload that fun stuff. So to one side of the front door, I am going to add my wagon. Now, I bought this when we first moved in because on Pinterest, I saw this idea where you take a wagon and you just put trees in it. And I already had the trees. I bought them years ago. So then I just purchased the wagon on Facebook Marketplace. So right now I'm just kind of arranging all of my trees inside the wagon. Now down at the bottom, I do have garland in there and I have lights. I love having the lights in there because it does make it glow at night and just kind of highlights the wagon. But this is one of my favorite parts of my front porch. Next, I'm going to go in with this blanket. This is actually a pet blanket, so that's why it's a little smaller. It came from Five Below, I believe. So you are going to see me kind of play around with this and move it around and everything. In fact, I end up switching it to the other side. I add a welcome sign and then I take that out. I add a Christmas tree sign and then I take that out. But ultimately, I decided on a pillow that I got from the Target dollar spot a few years ago. And I think that that was the perfect addition to this wagon. Now we're going to jump to the other side, and I've had this sled for years. It was actually my parents, and I loved it. I thought it was so rustic, love the colors. It matches perfectly with the wagon. So I decided that I was going to use that, and I also added a wreath on top to kind of bring in the greenery. Next, I'm going to go in with this little bucket that I got from Target a few years ago, and I loved it because it says North Pole Christmas Farm or something. You'll see in a little bit. And so I thought that this was perfect to put on this side, and I am just going to fill it with a blanket and trees, and I went ahead and threw the rest of the lights in there because, again, it makes it light up. This is another one of those pet blankets from Five Below, and then I'm going to go in with these other trees. Now, I am going to add a welcome sign, but as you see, the trees cover half the sign. So what I decided to do was just take the boxes from those lights. They were literally sitting right next to me, and I am just going to build up the back, and that way when I put my sign on, it raised it up so you can actually read it. Now in a little bit you're going to see me go in and add another little riser to the bottom to raise it up even more, and I thought it made it the perfect height. To complete this side, I'm just going to add this simple little lantern, and that's it. For my front door mat, I'm just going to add this simple one right here. I believe it came from Hobby Lobby. And then my realtor, when we bought the house, actually gifted us this door hanging, and it's so, so cute. Moving on to the little rocking chair sitting area, or as my grandpa likes to call it, Cracker Barrel, I'm going to add this outdoor pillow that I got from Walmart, and I'm going to add the same thing to the other chair, plus a blanket. To the table, I'm just going to add this placemat, and then I have one of those other trees from that 3-pack, and then just a lantern from the Dollar Tree, and this came from Target Dollar Spot a few years ago. Then to the top, I'm going to add this Merry Christmas sign that also came from Target Dollar Spot a few years ago. All right, moving on to the porch swing. I saw this idea a few years ago on another YouTuber's channel, and I just took some cheap garland from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to loop it through, and I have to make sure that both ends are even. It's even on both sides. And then I'm simply going to wrap and wrap and wrap this garland around the chains, and that's it to this, to decorating this porch swing. Of course, I'm going to add something to the swing too, but look how easy it was to dress up this porch swing for Christmas. Now to bring a pop of red in, I am going to go in with this Dollar Tree bow and put it right in the middle of the chains where the two start to split off. And I thought it made it look so festive. So then I jumped over to the other side and did the same thing. Now to the porch swing itself, I'm going to add this blanket. It looks black, but it is a very deep, dark green. And then I'm going to go in with this pillow. This is actually a pillow cover that I got in a pack of 4 years ago. And I just added that to the blanket. Now I have 2 flower boxes on my front porch, so I have these giant bows and these set of bells, so I thought that it would be fun to put these on the front to dress up my flower boxes. Now I am going to have to figure out a way to make these bows actually stay up straight. They kind of droop down, but that's going to be a project for another day. Now inside the flower boxes, I wanted to dress them up a little bit. So these are just those cheapy Dollar Tree Christmas trees, and I have 2 here. And so I'm just going to fluff them out and just kind of use it as the base of my little arrangement that I'm going to make. So now I'm just going to go in with a bunch of random picks. I have pine cones, I have like flocked greenery, and I'm just kind of spreading them around to have like a bed of greenery. Next, I'm going to go in with these large ornaments that I got from Meijer, and I am just going to spread them out throughout my little bed of greenery. Now, I decided to only use 3 large bulbs in each one of my boxes, so I do have an extra red ball, but don't worry, I will, or 2 actually, but don't worry, I'll find some place to put those. So now I'm just kind of going through and arranging all of the decor just in this box. I do go in with some smaller ornaments, some pine cones, and I'm just making a really pretty Christmas floral display. For the final section of my front porch, I'm going to go in with just this Christmas tree. It does light up. And then I'm going to go in with this easel that I actually made a couple of years ago. And that's it. That completes my front porch. So next I'm going to show you what it looks like in the daytime. But stay tuned, because after that, we're going to light it up.
my gosh.
They do look so magical.
They do look so magical.
Darling, I get you on my mind when Christmas comes to town. It's getting cold, baby. I just want you close. I got all this joy in my heart, and if it's getting dark, yeah, we can go inside. Baby, won't you hold me tight? I don't need any presents, 'cause I know I have you. I just need you, and I know it will be a magic holiday. Oh, you make it all okay. Oh, it's a magic darling, I get you on my mind.
It is time for fa la 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 and deck these halls. Today I am so excited to start decorating my house for Christmas. Now, if you're new here, I may go a little above and beyond for Christmas, and every room has a different theme. So in my kitchen, it's like Mrs. Claus's Bakery or North Pole Bakery, because in the kitchen we do gingerbread, and behind me on the coffee bar we do peppermint. And how perfect is this shirt? I love it. My tippy toes right now. I run on coffee and Christmas cheer, and that I do, my friend. But without further ado, let's grab a cup of coffee and let's get to work. This is the third year I've done it, peppermint, and I'm still absolutely loving it. So I decided, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I have some really fun stuff here. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I just ran upstairs to get my tiered tray over there. Anyway, let's get to decorating.
So the first thing we're going to start off with are these big trees that I got from Walmart a few years ago, and they are perfect to go right on that top shelf of my coffee bar. So I put one on either side, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this canister right in the middle. Now, at first you're going to see me with the words facing out, and then it's going to be turned, but I do end up changing it back around so the words are facing out. Next, I'm going to go in with these little soup bowls or chili bowls, and then this teapot. Now, I do have a lot of Rae Dunn. I know Rae Dunn's really not that popular anymore, but I love all my pieces, so I really wanted to use them. And hey, I have them, so I might as well use them. So in the middle of the second shelf, I'm going to anchor all of it by using a red charger. And then I'm going to put this cute little Santa. He came from Michael's a few years ago. And I did go ahead and put him and this picture right here on some plates for some height, but I do end up taking those out. Next, I'm going to add in these candle holders, and they came from Facebook Marketplace for $5 a few years ago, and I love them. I use them all year round for different holidays. Now, on top of the candle holders, I'm going to go in with these candles that I actually made. Those are real peppermint on there, but I did spray it with hairspray, because of the glitter. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and put in my mugs with the toppers. This one says North Pole, and then the other one is going to say Peppermint Mocha. And what I'm trying to do here is set up little vignettes on either side, and I'm trying to do groups of 3. So you'll see I have the Santa, the candle holder, and then the mug, and then on the other side I'm going to have the candle holder, and then the pitcher, and then the mug. So I'm trying to set up like a little grouping on both sides. So I'm kind of rearranging, playing with it. Now, I pretty much did the same coffee bar setup last year, but I don't really remember exactly where everything was. So, I have to kind of play around with it until I get it to how I like. In the middle of my shelf, right in front of the charger, I am going to add my favorite pieces, these peppermint deer. These I got from Walmart last year, and when I saw them, I had to have them because I knew that they would be perfect for my peppermint themed coffee bar, and I think they're adorable. All right, moving down to the coffee bar itself, I have this runner, and I thought it was perfect because it's like red and white striped. I believe this one came from Walmart as well, and so I'm just going to put it in the middle of the actual bar. And then we are going to add a tiered tray on the side. To the top, I'm going to add this little toppings board, which I made a few years ago, candy cane crew, cup, these little jars that I also made, and then this little stack here came from Target Dollar Spot last year, and I thought the colors were really pretty, so I thought they would be perfect for my tiered tray. We will be filling those candy jars in just a moment, so no worries, we'll be adding some sweets. Next, I'm going to go in with these little mini cups and put them on top of the stack. Now you're going to see things kind of switch up like here because I totally forgot that I had that little fake peppermint mocha there that have a cup of cheer. I made that actually a couple years ago on my crafting channel, but basically I'm just moving things around, getting everything to fit how I like, and you're going to see in just a little bit, I'm actually going to be rearranging again because I found something that I totally forgot that I wanted to put on this tiered tray. So yeah, this just was a lot of trial and error and, you know, just kind of playing around. Here are the candies that I'm actually going to be putting in the jars. These hot chocolate kisses are so good. I just throw one in my hot chocolate, but I also like to eat them too. The peppermint ones or the candy cane kisses, I also throw in my hot chocolate because of course it adds that touch of peppermint. And these bags were actually left over from last year. That's why they're open. So luckily I had those already in my stash, and there's, you know, they're still good. It's all good. It's fine. All right, so now I'm going to move to the middle of my coffee bar. I'm going to add this 'Tis the Season tray right in the middle, and then on top, I'm going to put a cocoa canister, a peppermint canister, and a marshmallow canister. Now in the cocoa canister, I'm actually going to put hot chocolate K-cups. I don't really use like the loose hot chocolate. I use like the powder. I use the K-cups because I have a Keurig, obviously. And then in the peppermint jar, I'm going to put these peppermint sticks. I love using these in my hot chocolate. And then, of course, I'm going to fill this marshmallow one with mini marshmallows. Now, even though I love having this hot cocoa bar here with all the goodies and the sweets, I am at least going to have to hide the marshmallows because my 6-year-old loves marshmallows, so I know that she will come and sneak a few. So I don't know how long this stuff is going to last here. On my mug wrap, I'm just going to add these 3 mugs, Santa's Helper, 'Tis the Season, and Believe. And then, of course, to my Keurig, I'm going to add a themed cup. This elf runs on Coffee and Hallmark Channel. Boy, isn't that the truth. I love that cup. It's my favorite. Now, I always like to add a little seasonal towel to this door right here because I just think that it adds some color down at the bottom of my coffee bar. And then, of course, we have to go ahead and add our mugs to the actual coffee bar. Next, I'm going to go through and just kind of add some accessories and embellishments here and there. And then I came across these cups. These cups I got for $5 at Home Goods, or $4.99. So I had to make room for them on my tiered tray. So I am just going to be moving things around, and you'll see what it looks like at the end. And I'm just so glad that I could find some space for those. I really love having those. Now, I did decide that I wanted to add some floral or some picks to the picture, so I did make a trip to Hobby Lobby and grabbed some of these picks here, and these are actually marshmallows. Aren't those so cool? I love them, and of course, don't forget all of Hobby Lobby's Christmas stuff is 50% off. So I am just going to add these peppermint picks and these little, I just love this. I love how it came out. Some people might think it's a little much with all the picks in there, but I just felt like the picture needed something. I just didn't like that it just sat there empty. So something I did want to mention is I know it looks like that I have a lot of decor, and I do. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, no pun intended. But this is all stuff that I've collected over the past 3 years. So I just want you to keep that in mind. You don't have to go out and buy everything at once. Your collection can just gradually grow with you. To complete my coffee bar, I'm going to add this super cute sign that I got from, I believe, Michael's or At Home a few years ago. And that's it. My coffee bar is done.
Well, I'm all for Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all from the lights to the mistletoe. Tell me one thing, is there anything that you're missing? I will keep you warm as soon as you remove that snow. Whatever we do, we will be alright. These holiday wonders will open your mind. May all your wishes tonight come true. The love I lived, the dream I knew. This Christmas I only wanna be close to you. Whatever we do, we will be alright. These holiday wonders will open your mind. May all your wishes tonight come true. The love I lived, the dream I knew.
All right, next we are going to move into the kitchen, and I am just unpacking my bins full of gingerbread decor. Now, a lot of this stuff I just collected over the past 3 years, but I like to lay everything out so I know what I'm working with.
So I am super excited about this one. This was originally $49.99 at Hobby Lobby. I got this for $5. Look at it! This was the steal of the year last year. So I can't wait to use it.
When I tell you I was so excited when I got that for $5 last year, oh my gosh. And part of it was because the bottom of it is a little broken, but nothing a little hot glue and duct tape couldn't fix.
Okay, here's all the gingerbread stuff. I know it looks like a lot, but don't worry, it all has a home. So some of this stuff is DIYs too, and I'll kind of show you. But I did want to show you a few things that I bought new this year. I did not go crazy, but I always get decorative napkins. And so I got these from Target. Pack of 24 for $3. And then I wish I would have been able to find another one of these. But I'm going to put, I wanted to put one girl in each, their picture, my girls. So I'm on the hunt to find a girl gingerbread picture frame. If not, I can just put, a picture of the both of them. And then I found this in the Target dollar spot, and I just thought this was so cute. It's $3, and it's just a little gingerbread sled. And then I also found this in the Target dollar spot. It's just like a basket. I've seen people put skinny napkins in here or greenery or something, so I'm gonna have to figure out what to put in there, but I thought this was just so cute. I also got this tray from the Target dollar spot, $5. I think I'm gonna put that over on the table, or I'm going to put it on my island. I'm not sure. This I also got from the Target dollar spot, and it does light up. It says Coco Cafe, and I really love it. It's just so pretty. It was $5. And hey, I didn't think that was bad for $5. I mean, look how pretty it is. And then I needed something to hold like my utensils. So, like a crock type of thing. So I found this at Home Goods, and it's $20. I know it did come with like the topper, which I could use like as a cookie jar or something, but I'm going to use it as a crock. And I love that it wasn't like rubber on the inside. So, you know, that made me really happy that it looks like a crock if I take the top off. So I'm going to put like the spatulas, wooden spoons, all that in here. I cannot wait. I just love it. It says Cozy Cafe. So I'm going to set up a really cute tray over there. Another thing I got was this tray right here. I got it from the Target dollar spot, and I love it. It's like a cutting board. What are they calling this? Serving board. So I thought that this was so cute. This is a DIY I did not too long ago, and I just made a really pretty gingerbread tree. And then I do have some other DIYs mixed in here, so I'll show you. And again, you can check those out on my other channel, Crafts with Ash, DIY and Decor. All right, so let's go ahead and make my kitchen look like the North Pole.
So it never fails. I always forget to take some type of previous holiday decor down. And so I forgot to take the dog treats out of this. So I thought I would use this really cute Santa cookie jar as the dog treat bowl. You know, why not? It's just sitting, it would sit there empty anyways. So why not dress it up a little bit? But the only thing was, as I was working, I got interrupted.
You heard me, huh? Okay, bye.
So after I had his treats all taken care of, I'm going to go ahead and move on to this tiered tray. This corner of my kitchen is perfect for a tiered tray. I have been using like a little tray, like just flat basket throughout the year, but I've purposely bought this specific tiered tray for a gingerbread kitchen because I just thought that it gave out gingerbread vibes. So I wanted to use it. Now, most of this stuff is actually DIY. So that little fake pan, like cookie tray with the gingerbread cookies I made that thing at the bottom that says North Pole Bakery. I made those trees in the back. These cups or the mugs I actually got from Target dollar spot 2 years ago maybe, and this little guy I got from Hobby Lobby 2 years ago, I think, and same with the little lollipops. And inside the mugs I just put mini cooking utensils. Now, of course, you know, to go along with the theme of gingerbread, there's this theme of baking. So I decided, you know, anywhere I could add some like baking supplies or anything, I did. Because clearly I ain't using them because I don't bake. So I figure, might as well do something with them. So after a little bit of playing around with the items on my tiered tray and moving things and just trying different things, I finally got it to how I like, and so I just pushed it back in the corner. All right, now moving on to where this outlet is, I always like to cover it with my towel ladder, and then I got this towel either from Home Goods or TJ Maxx last year, and I think it's funny because it says, let's bake and watch Christmas movies, and I just said, I don't bake. And in the front, I'm going to add this super cute Santa. All right, moving on to my stove. I am going to put this hot cocoa tray and then these salt and pepper shakers I've had for years and years. And then I had this candle actually left over from last year. Now I'm going to make a little DIY. I picked up this little wreath for 50% off from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to use just random little decor pieces, gingerbread decor pieces from my stash, and I'm just going to decorate this wreath a little bit. So I had these felt gingerbread already, and so I'm just going to add those, and then I had these little cookies that I'm about to add. I'm going to add those all around and the little houses. But this was just a really cheap and quick, easy way to create a little wreath. And I am actually going to hang this over my microwave. I've been loving putting a wreath there for all the holidays because I just felt like that side just needed a little something, something. And I kind of wish that I would have picked up more of these, and I might go back and get some because I kind of want to add them to my doors and, the cabinet doors. So I love these though because they have like the crystallized flocking, I guess. And so it kind of makes me think of like the gumdrops. The gumdrops are like the sugar. So I don't know, I just really love this. And I do feel like this wreath is missing something. I saw some little like gumball or gumdrop picks at Hobby Lobby. So I actually might go and get those and hot glue them on. But for now, I think that this came out super cute. So I just have a command hook there, and then I just tied a little string to it. So I'm going to go ahead and add my wreath over the microwave. But look how cute that is. I think it's adorable. Then over my oven, I'm actually going to put this sign, and I just used two-way tape because it kept falling off the oven the last time, and my husband got mad at me. So I got smart this time and actually attached it to the wall. Then I went ahead and added that really cute towel from Home Goods, and then I gave my daughters the job of decorating the oven. This is their job every year. Well, I guess Charlotte's first time. But they loved working together, and it was really cute because, just little sisters being a typical little sister. All right, so now I get to use my new little utensil holder. Well, that's what I'm calling it. So I added this little riser and then that piece from Home Goods, and now I'm just going to add some cooking utensils, and I have some seasonal ones and just some neutral ones. And basically I like putting this here because it hides that outlet, and in fact I use these like big wooden spoons here to help hide it. So I love how big they are. In fact, I want more. I want to add more there, but I love how this little area came out, and I just think that little I know I'm going to call it a crock. I know it's not, but I just think that little crock just makes it. It's just so adorable. I love it so much. Next, I'm going to go in with this new little serving board and just kind of use it as a layering piece. And then it's back to DIYing. So I had these two little little bowls, I guess, from the Dollar Tree from last year, and I didn't actually use them, but I really wanted to use them this year. So I got these little picks from Hobby Lobby, and I thought, oh, how cute would it be if they were just kind of poking out? So what I did was I stuffed that little crinkle paper in there to give it some height, and then I just kind of figured out where I wanted to place them, and then I just hot glued like an arm down or a leg down or something. That way it would just stay in place, and I just kind of tacked it down. And I thought that again was just so quick and easy and so cute. So then I'm going to add that little beaded garland that I got last year, and then our little DIY. And like I said, I love how this little area came out. It was my first time doing something like this over here because usually I just have like a utensil holder. Moving on to this little rod on the side of my cabinet, I am going to add this little DIY oven mitt, or I guess it's not oven mitt, hot pad over on the side, and then just a bunch of just little random pieces like towels, baking utensils, cooking utensils. I also made that Made with Love little cutting board DIY. A lot of this stuff is on the other channel from like 3 years ago, I want to say, or maybe it was 2 years ago. It was 2021. So I am just kind of going to play around with the items on this. It did take me a hot minute to figure out what I liked and how I wanted to keep it. But in the end, I do love how it came out, and I think it's so fun and so festive. But it does look a little different than this in the end, so stay tuned for that. Moving over to the top of my refrigerator, I am going to add this gingerbread Santa to one side and then this milk and cookies Santa to the other side, and I just thought that these were so adorable. Now, one came from At Home and one came from Home Goods. I just not sure which one came from where. I don't remember. And you can see my nice assistant there, driving me crazy as usual. No, I asked my husband, I said, just stay here for 2 seconds and just hand me things so I don't keep having to walk up and down the ladder. I had an idea of what I wanted up here, so I was kind of just playing around with it, but yeah. Anyway, so I got that gingerbread sign from Walmart, I think like 2 years ago, and then I'm just going to stack more of my Ray Dunn pieces. And now all of these, remember, you're looking up very high from a high view, but all of these layering pieces like that box, that plastic riser, you can't see from the floor. So even though it does look kind of weird there, don't worry, you can't see it. Moving on to my chicken wired shelf, I'm going to add this big cutting board just to kind of hide the wall a little bit. And then I have this cute little gingerbread giving plate. And now I'm going to add some gingerbread cookies to this little faux gumball machine. Yeah, not a fan. But you know what? I'm glad because now I won't eat them. These are not usually the ones I get. The ones I get are like the frosted something cookie. It's not really a gingerbread cookie. It's more like a shortbread or something, and they come from Walmart, but I just did not make it to Walmart, so I just grabbed these. And yeah, like I said, I don't really like them, but hey, that's okay. At least it just adds some decor to my shelf. So on the other side, I'm going to add my big gingerbread canister and then my gumdrop canister. And then I felt like the gumball machine needed to be higher, so I just added like a little lid off of a Ray Dunn piece. I usually like to keep those around for that purpose. So now I'm actually going to go in with my DIY tree, and I absolutely love it. In fact, I kind of want to make another one for the other side. Now, sorry about this angle. I know you're not really seeing the tippy top of this stuff, but don't worry, you'll see it all really good in 1 minute. All right, so now I'm going to add these DIY candles on either side. And then this rolling pin that has gingerbread men on it. I just think it's so cute. So these picks, I want your opinion on what you think about these picks here. In my mind, I was thinking like the colors of gumdrops, and I already had these picks from my daughter's birthday party. I used them for that, and I was like, I would really love to, use them for something. I have them. So let me know down in the comments what you think. It's very bright compared to the rest of the kitchen. The rest of the kitchen is kind of like, ginger, red and brown, like gingerbread theme and green and stuff. So let me know what you think down in the comments. So now to the bottom, I'm going to add these little gingerbread bowls, and I did give them some height by adding plates underneath each one of them. And then inside the bowls, I'm just going to simply add some cookie cutters. I thought that was appropriate for being like a little baking kitchen. Next, I'm going to go in with this little gingerbread piece. I've had this one for years as well. I'm pretty sure it originally came from Hobby Lobby. And then I had these little picks from Charlotte's birthday party as well. And I thought that I would use them down here to tie in the picks on the top. But again, let me know what you think. Is it just throwing it off? I do need something there, like to fill in the dead spaces. But I don't know. There is like no gingerbread pick. I mean, there are, but they're not. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I could go with red. I guess I should have just done that. I don't know. Let me know your comments down below. This is the first time I'm obviously using these picks in here. So I don't know. I just couldn't make up my mind. For my soap, I have this dispenser from Home Goods, and I keep my dish soap in that. And then that hand soap I actually got from a local grocery store, and it smells really good. Then I'm going to add my little nutcracker over to the corner. For above my sink, I'm going to add my absolute favorite sign, the gingerbread baking co sign that I got from Hobby Lobby last year. And then I'm just going to add a little garland that I kind of whipped up last minute a couple years ago, and it's just like one of those cheapy garlands from the Dollar Tree, and then some foam gingerbread men, and then some red ornaments. Now to these shelves, I'm just kind of putting like all my leftover decor. I would love to dress these up a little more, so I might work on it as you know, the season goes. So you're gonna have to catch my home tour. This is my little commercial for my home tour, and I'm crossing my fingers right now, literally hoping that I get to it and that I can record my home tour. It's always up in the air, honestly, but I am really gonna try hard to do that. All right, so now we're going to move over to my little shelf hangy thing. I never know what to call it. And this is all things baking. So in one of the baskets, I'm going to put that mug that says "Can't Catch Me." I'm the gingerbread man. And I'm just going to put some baking supplies or baking utensils in it. Then I'm going to add another one to the bottom basket that says "Cookie Baking Crew." And I thought that was perfect. And next, I'm going to go in with this big cookie cutter. I'm going to add him to the top basket. And then to the bottom basket, I'm going to add, I think they're like cookie pressers. They have like a design on them, and I think it's to press the design on. I'm not quite sure, but I think I got these from like TJ Maxx or Home Goods, and I just saw a whole bunch at TJ Maxx or Home Goods the other day. So I'm going to go ahead, put those in that second basket. Up top, I have this holidays are what you bake them towel, and I'm going to add that right next to the top basket. And then I'm going to add my DIY Mrs. Claus gloves. And I love these, and because they're baking mitts, and I thought that these were so perfect, or oven mitts, sorry. Now I'm going to go in with this little sign that says "Christmas calories don't count," and then my little gingerbread cookies. I love those. I think all that came from Hobby Lobby. Moving down to the bottom, I have another one of these towels that I got from last year. So I'm just going to kind of use this as a layering piece. And on top, I actually made that little DIY. It's just the recipe for gingerbread cookies. So I'm going to add that. And then I'm going to add this Baking Spirits Bright hot pad. Next, I'm going to go in with an apron that my mom actually got my daughter, but it has like gingerbread cookies all over it, which is perfect. So I thought I would use it to hang right here. And then I have the matching apron to those towels that I'm going to hang on the other side. Now, this might be a lot for some people, I understand, but I really love how this came together, and it's just so festive. All right, so now it's time to switch out the dog bowls. So I'm just going to take out Halloween and put in Christmas. Then I thought I would dress up his little eating area with this little DIY. Who is that? Did you find somebody? Oh, say hi. You gonna give hugs? Hugs and kisses. Oh, huggy wuggies. Where are you going? Okay, bye. Moving on to my kitchen table, I'm going to put on these placemats that I got from Ross actually a few years ago, and I thought these were so adorable, and I just love the colors. Then to the middle, I'm going to go ahead and add my peppermint tray that like I said, I got from Target Dollar Spot this year. And then my $5 gingerbread house. And then these cute little gingerbread girl and gingerbread boy. And I love how sparkly this little display is. It's just so fun. Then I'm going to move over to my island. I always call it an island, but I know it's not. It's a peninsula. And I always like to put a tray here. So I'm going to add that little light up gingerbread house from the Target Dollar Spot. I'm going to add my napkins. And then I'm going to add a very sparkly Santa that I got from Hobby Lobby last year. Then I'm going to add some just simple red placemats to my little seats over here. Okay, so now we are going to jump to the kitchen tree, and this is peppermint and gingerbread themed, and this is exactly how I store it. I don't even take it down. I just put a trash bag over it, and I leave the ribbon on, and then I fluff it a little bit. I'm not the best fluffer, and I absolutely hate fluff roofing trees. That sounded weird. Anyways, now I'm gonna just add a whole bunch of decor. Majority of it came from Hobby Lobby over the years. Some came from Joann's, some came from Walmart. Now, I'm not going to take you through the whole decorating process because, you know, it's just decorating a tree. But I'm going to show some highlights, like I got this red star. I don't remember where this came from. It is battery operated. In my opinion, I like things that plug into the wall. That way you don't have to worry about batteries. And I like things lit up all season. So, you know, I like it when it can just constantly be plugged in. But anyways, I'm going to put this star on the top, and I have some little candy lollipops that I'm going to put just to kind of hide that base. I really didn't like that you could see it. Now, this is a blanket that I am using as a tree skirt, and I thought that that was perfect. I used it last year, and, you know, why go out and buy something when I already have something that I could use? So I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of arrange it so it's hiding the stand on the bottom of the tree. Next, this is a sign that I made years ago, and I thought it would be so cute to stick it right on the bottom because it does have a little gingerbread cookie on it, and so it all went together. Now it's time to light it up, and now I'm going to add this little gingy. Now, usually it goes on top of my refrigerator, but my 1-year-old loves it, so I thought I'd keep it lower for her. Then we're going to light the star. And then it's time for some final touches, and my gingerbread kitchen is complete.
Darling, look at you told lies. I can only hope that Santa Claus and my records agree. Then maybe this year Santa's coming home to me. I have found the perfect tree and dressed it to the nines. I've even made little gingerbread Santas. There's nothing left to chance. This year, Santa's coming home to me.
Let's create a cozy bedroom. Hello, my name's Ashley, and today we are going to be decorating my master bedroom and my master bathroom for Christmas. Now, I did this the last 2 years, and every year I gradually add more and more decor, and this year I'm adding a small little Christmas tree. I'm so excited, and of course, our new addition, this faux mantle, which I'm gonna decorate with our stockings that we got for our bridal shower. So this was before kids, and it was just the two of us. So I thought that would be fun to add to this room since it is mine and my husband's bedroom.
So I don't know if I mentioned this, but the theme of my bedroom is little red truck and black and red buffalo check. Typically, this is not my style, and I didn't purposely plan it that way. Just when I was unpacking all of my Christmas stuff when we moved in, I realized I had an abundance of red truck decor, and I was like, you know what? Why not just decorate my room with all of it? So that's just what I've been doing. This is the third year I've done it like that. And so I love it. And I just think it's so like cabiny and just, I don't know, cozy and fun. So as you saw in my little opening clip there, I have this sign that I made on my channel about 2 years ago. I tried a number of different ways to get it to work on this mantle. I even put that little sign underneath it to raise it up. I just didn't like how it was so low compared to the green hanging on there. I don't know, I just really did not like it. So you're going to see that I kind of work around it. Ultimately, I do end up leaning it, but I am planning on hanging it somehow, some way this season. So this mantle is very, very skinny, so I have to be careful what I put on here. So I just put one of those like cheapy garlands from the Dollar Tree, and then I put some fairy lights on top.
Whoa, oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh, oh. La, da, da, da. Making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around.
Now this is a berry garland, and I believe that I got this from Target a few years ago after the Christmas sales or during the Christmas sales. And I just thought that this was the perfect touch of red. So you're going to see like your traditional green, red, black, white in this room, just with touches of little red truck and black and red buffalo check. Now, if this is not your style, don't click off. I promise it'll all come together. Now, it might be a little red truck overload, but at least this can give you ideas on how to maybe decorate some places that you don't know how to decorate or something. I don't know. just stay with me. All right, so now I'm going to go in with these chunky candle holders and candles. However, you are going to see that I actually switched that up. I actually end up switching up this mantle a little bit. I made that twine tree a couple years ago, and then I'm going to go in with these DIY stocking holders. So now I'm going to hang these stockings. My mom actually got these for us for our wedding shower, and these were what we used until we added, kids. And then we got like the fun stockings, but I'm just gonna, hang these as a little ode to our before kid life, I guess. So here is where I start making some changes. I'm first going to take out those chunky candlesticks and candles. And I'm going to replace them with these skinnier ones from Hobby Lobby. I just liked the black, and also I wanted the height. So now I'm just going to go in with some simple red Dollar Tree candles. And I did use the little aluminum foil trick. If the sticks don't stand straight up, then you could put some aluminum foil on the bottom, and that'll help cushion it so that way they fit better. Now I'm going to go in with these buffalo check trees, and I thought these were perfect. I did get these at Hobby Lobby this year, and I am going to add 2, although at the very end you're going to see that I took one out to put that sign from the beginning back in. It was a whole thing. All right, so now we're going to jump to my dresser, and I have this vase on my dresser all year round, and so I'm just going to add these greenery picks and then these gorgeous berry picks. Now these all came from my aunt. She gave them to me a couple years ago, so I actually don't know where she got them from. I know she does shop at like Target, Home, she shops everywhere, so I don't know where these came from, but I'm just going to kind of make a little arrangement, and I love these berry picks. Anything frosted, I'm such a sucker for. I just love them.
Keeping people pleased, but this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new, 'cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you.
Then to the other side, I am going to put these other chunky candlesticks from Hobby Lobby. These also came from Hobby Lobby, and they smell so good, like pine. This is right by my door, so every time I walk in, I just get that sense of Christmas. Now I'm going to go in with this little red truck photo frame, and yes, I am going to have to update that picture this year. And then in front of the little vase, I'm going to add a book and this little snow globe that I made a few years ago on the other channel. And then these little houses came from Hobby Lobby, and I love them because I just feel like our home, like it's just symbolizing our house, our home. Now we're going to jump to the desk area, and I'm going to put those candlesticks on the right side along with the candles. And remember, these came from the fireplace. And then I'm going to add a little floral pick here just to give it some greenery on that side. Next, I'm going to go in with these DIY books that I made on the other channel this year. And on top of that, I'm going to put my clock that I always have to have. And then I have this little picture, this sign here, and I do add another little votive, but you'll see that at the end. Now in the middle, I'm going to add my candle that's there all year round, and then I have this green mug, and green doesn't really go in my kitchen, so I thought it'd be fun to add to the desk because it does say under the mistletoe. And then to finalize my desk, I added the pillow. All right, now moving on to my bed, I'm going to add some red candles to my little jars, my little sconces up top. And then I'm going to add a Christmas garland. I have done this this will be my 3rd year. I am obsessed with adding this garland to my bed because I think it just gives it such a soft and festive ambiance, and I love it. I love having it on at night, and sometimes it can be a little bright. Unfortunately, the lights on this were actually burnt out, and that was like the warm, like almost the yellowy type of lights. And so I had to replace them, and they were kind of bright. So I don't know that I'll keep them on all night now, but I do still still love having them on. So now I'm just going to go through and add these little red truck ornaments that I got in packs from the Dollar Tree, just to help bring in the little red truck vibe over my bed. Now over the garland, I added this sign, "And to all good night" from Hobby Lobby. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my Christmas sheets on, and of course they are little red truck. I got this after Christmas 2 years ago from either TJ Maxx or Home Goods. And then just for you, my friends, I'm going to make my bed. If you've been a viewer for a while, you know that I do not make my bed. I'm not a bed maker every day, but I thought I would go ahead and make it just so you could see that I know how to make it. But I thought I'd zoom in here so you could actually see the print. I still love this print, and I think it's really pretty. It's like a taupe, and I just love it. Next, I'm going to go in with these pillows. I don't know where those came from, but this I got on sale after Christmas 2 years ago from Target. And I thought it would be perfect to add in a master bedroom. Then to my bench at the end of the bed, I'm going to add this pillow. And then we're going to add a blanket and a tray on top. And of course, I have to add another buffalo check tree and a little red truck. And for a final touch, I'm going to add a candle. Now don't worry, I'm only lighting it for this video, and then it'll never be lit on my bed again. Once everything was added, it's time to light it up. All right, moving on to our nightstands. I'm going to take out the placemat that was there and put this little red truck placemat from Dollar General there instead. I'm going to add one of these little plaid trees, and then I'm going to add the picture that is always there. This is my husband's nightstand, so it's a picture of him and his little girls. Then we're going to jump over to my nightstand, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take out the placemat and replace it with the little red truck placemat, and then I'm going to add the tree and my picture with my little girls. Can you believe how small Charlotte was? This was taken a year ago, and I definitely need to update it. Moving on to the corner, I am going to put up a little tree. Now, when I say little, this is only like 4 feet tall, and I got this from Five Below last year after Christmas for 50% off. So this little tree was $2.50. Definitely worth it. So it does not come lit, so I just took some Dollar Tree lights, and I'm just going to add those around this tree. And it is a little low for my taste. I think I have like a little stand in my basement that I'm going to bring up so I can raise it up. I just think it needs to be a little higher, but you let me know what you think about that. Either that, or I was going to move the blanket ladder behind it to add some height, but I don't know. You let me know your thoughts down below. I'm interested to know what you think.
And me, hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold.
So for decor for this tree, I'm going to start off with this really pretty little red truck ribbon. And I am just going to start at the top, and I am just going to go down a few inches, loop it with the branches, go down, loop it, go down, loop it. And then I do cut it off at the bottom, but I cut it into like dog ears, which I'll show you in just a little bit. That way it's just a little bit more decorative at the bottom. I've never done that before, but I've seen people do it. So I thought, I might as well give it a try on this little tree, right? So I'm just going to go through and add my ribbon, and then I have just some regular red balls. And then I'm going to go in with those little red truck ornaments from the Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to add some red and black buffalo check ornaments from Hobby Lobby. And I like them because they have a little bit of greenery on them and a pine cone. So it kind of adds that like woodsy rustic look to my tree as well.
Dear Santa, tell me that you'll make it here in time. Yeah, this boy is on my mind. The number one thing on my wish list. Oh, Santa, tell me you know that I've been good. I put the lights up just for you. You're the only one who can make
Now for my topper, I'm just going to add this one that I got from Hobby Lobby. And don't forget, all their stuff was 50% off, but I thought this was perfect to go on my little buffalo check and little red truck tree. Say that 3 times fast. For a tree skirt, I'm just going to add this one from the Dollar Tree. And again, it was perfect. And that completed my little tree. To finish off my bedroom, my husband hung some mistletoe and, of course, had to steal a kiss. All right, now we're going to move on to the bathroom, and I always have this tiered tray here with some essentials like a candle, the Q-tips, and then just some like little hand towels, or actually life hack. Those are napkins because they were way cheaper, and they're just for decor, so like who cares? Anyways, I'm just kind of wiping things down as I go. I already deep cleaned it, but you know, I just wanted to get the dust off and everything, and then I'm going to roll these little napkins. Now, I redid this bathroom in the fall, the beginning of fall. I think it was August. And you are going to have to check it out. The transformation is unbelievable, and I absolutely love it. I also redid my bedroom that you just saw in a video as well. So if you have not seen those, go back and catch up because it was unbelievable. All right, first I'm going to go in with this little floral arrangement up top, and then we added a little red truck to the bottom of the tray. And then I'm going to go in with just some simple floral picks just to bring in some greenery.
Oh, la da da da, making our Christmas memories. I've been wrapping presents for you. I've been hanging marbles in the tree.
And then I'm going to complete my tiered tray with this little sign from Hobby Lobby that says home for the holidays. I love how this tiered tray came out. I think it's so rustic and so festive. To my towel ladder, I'm going to add this towel I actually got last year from Kohl's. And then we're going to jump to the other side of the vanity. I'm going to add this little riser, which I made on my crafting channel. And on top, I always have this little, technically it's a jug, but I'm using it as a vase. And then I'm just going to add some Dollar Tree picks. So these are just some rustic berry picks. I'm going to put 2 of those. Now, the greenery pick is actually from Michael's, and I got those after Christmas last year on a big sale because I never pay full price at Michael's. Actually, I don't really full price anywhere if I can help it.
I've been hanging marbles in the tree, and I lit my house with Christmas lights, so you should come back home to me. And when we wake up in the morning,
in front of that, I'm going to add this little picture that I made, and then a little green truck, which is kind of funny, but this green truck is in this bathroom all year round, so I just thought I'd add it, and it does have little soap in the back. Next, I'm going to add some greenery picks, and then some of those berries fell off of those picks when I was arranging it, so I just added them to the greenery. Moving over to the shelf above my toilet, I actually made this sign, and so I'm going to put that in the back, and then I'm going to put this little bathtub that's always there, and then I have a jar of bath salts, and then I have a jar of cotton balls. So I'm going to put both of those back up, but we're just going to decorate them up a little bit. So to my bathtub, I'm going to add just some of these like little pieces that fell off the tree when I was putting it up, and then that greenery is actually the greenery that's in there all year round. So I'm just kind of mixing it together just to add more of that Christmassy feel. And then I'm just going to take more of those berries and just kind of stick them in that little arrangement.
and when we wake up in the morning, I'm gonna play those carols that you love. We'll be singing all the melodies until the sun comes up. These are the good times with you.
Then to the other side, I'm just going to simply add a little piece of greenery and some berries. Even though this shelf is simple, I think it added just enough decor to make it festive. Another easy way to just update your decor is towels. So I just went ahead and switched out my hand towels. I'm going to add this red one at the bottom, and then these I actually got from Dollar General a few years ago. So I'm just going to layer it on top, and I have 2 of these towel bars, so I'm going to do it to both. Now this is where it may or may not get a little extra, but yeah, I changed the shower curtain. Now I'm going to add some finishing touches like this little floor mat. And then I'm going to add a red towel to the towel rack. And that's it. That completes my little red truck master bathroom and bedroom for Christmas. Let me know what you think.
Merry Christmas, baby. Reindeer's coming out to play. Santa Claus is packing the presents, making sure you've been behaving okay. Merry Christmas, honey. Yeah. The snowman's dusting off his hat, putting on the show for everybody, to give them a smile that lasts another year. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December ends, when the children are singing, yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Merry Christmas, baby. The snow is laying 2 feet deep. Now wish upon a falling star, so all your secret dreams can come true. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December ends, when the children are singing, yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Ooh, yeah. There's room at the table for big and for small. All the fire is popping, the chestnuts are cracking, yeah. Merry Christmas, baby. There's something that happens when something that happens when December ends, when December ends, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's Merry Christmas, baby. Merry Christmas, baby. It's Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Yeah. Merry Christmas, baby.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe. And I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down and the storm is on its way. But as long as you're around, everything will be okay. 'Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything till we're perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. Another year went by, but the difference this time is that ever since July, I've been happier than I have ever been. It's safe to say that my love for you is true. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you.
Oh, say hello. Hey. Oh, you gonna hang up on the North Pole? That's probably not gonna get you on the nice list. What? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay then. Bye. Bye.
Good morning! Hello and welcome to another video. Today is a fun one because we are going to be putting up what, Amelia?
A Christmas tree.
Our Christmas tree, and this is the fun tree because this is, oh yeah, we're excited. This is the fun tree because it's ornaments that either Brandon or I made in our childhood. We also have a tradition that every trip we take, we get an ornament from that place and then we add it to the tree. So I'll go through some of the ornaments with you. This is called the fun tree also because it is colored lights and they blink and it's just really pretty. I got this tree probably about 5 years ago, actually, from Home Depot. She's cracking herself up. For all of us around here. Well, I guess, are we ready to get started?
Yeah!
Let's decorate!
Yeah!
So this is the corner that we're going to put our tree in, but in order to do that, we need to move out Charlotte's area. We need to move out Charlotte's area and move it over. So let's do that now. So there's my happy little helpers. As you can see, they're super excited. So yes, so the first thing we did or had to do was move over all of Charlotte's toys to the other side, and we picked this corner of the room, or the other corner where the tree's gonna go, because you can see it out the window and this faces the front of the house. So we love that when you drive past or pull in the driveway, you could see the tree through the window. So this just happens to be the perfect corner for it. So like I said, this tree came from Home Depot years ago, and no, it's not the viral Home Depot tree this year. I'm good on trees. I don't need any more trees. I think we're missing a piece. You should check the box.
Alright, well, I think the next piece goes right on the top then.
Okay, I think we're missing another piece though.
Right up on the tree. What do you guys think? What do you think?
Look at our angel.
Oh.
As you can see, we had a ton of fun this morning. We usually do it at night, but the Friday after Thanksgiving, we didn't have anything going on. So we're like, hey, let's take advantage and let's do it. So we got up our tree, and like I stated before, this is the fun tree. So this is going to be ornaments from Brandon's childhood. Now, I thought that I had my ornaments from my childhood, but I think they're still at my mom's. So I need to get those. I guess I never had them. I don't know why I thought I did. So then we have our destination ornament. So this is our newest one. We went to San Francisco in October, so I made sure to grab an ornament while I was there. And then we just have, just ornaments throughout our marriage. And I just love putting them up. I love reminiscing and explaining to Amelia what each of them are or what they mean or where they're from, and she asks a lot of questions too. Of course, there's Vegas. We have one from Chicago. There's one that we got when we were married. We got that as a gift. And then this was another ornament that someone gifted us when we bought this home in 2021. So like I said, I really love going through all of these ornaments. Some of them have special meanings. Some of them were just fun that were maybe given to us or maybe I bought. And Brandon's going to show you a few too. This was from our first home that we lived in from 2016 to 2020. And when we moved out, I actually kept a key and I put it on. That's obviously from our trip to Chicago. Chicago. And then, of course, there's Brandon's Browns ornament. This was a Phantom of the Opera ornament. I love Phantom, and that Amelia was actually showing you. I had one from New York, the M&M Factory. That was from our honeymoon. And then, yeah, we just had, this was our very first Christmas with Romeo, and that was how our little family started. So that was, fun to look at. So this was from Disney last May 2022 for Amelia's 5th birthday, and it happened to be their 50th anniversary in Disney World. So I thought that was a really pretty ornament as well. But anyways, these were just the ornaments that we decided to put on this tree. And again, this is like for gifts. Now, if you're wondering where like all the ornaments that Amelia's made over the years, don't you worry, those are coming up in the future. So I have special plans for those. But yes, we just love decorating this tree. Now, last year I did go and put ribbon and everything and made it really pretty. But honestly, I just kept it simple so that way the focal point was on the fun ornaments. And this is the first tree that people see when they walk in. So it's kind of a conversation piece because we can kind of, they can kind of look and see at all the ornaments and see where we've been. Now, I know that I have an ornament from Ocean Isle when we went in July, I think it was. But of course, do you think I can find it? No. So I'm certain I will find it in January after Christmas. All right, so once we got all of the ornaments on, we are going to go ahead and put the tree skirt on. Now, this was just a tree skirt that my aunt had that she gave to us, so I'm not really sure where it came from. But this room is basically, like just fun stuff. So basically, there's no theme, but just to be completely honest, it's the decorations that don't really fit in anywhere else. But after we got the tree skirt on, it was time to put the star on top. And I would like to actually invest in a star that lights up. I really miss not having a star that lights up on this tree. So I think I'm going to change this one out. But then I went in with these old Santa and Mrs. Claus little animatronics, I guess you would call them. And these, oh gosh, they're either from my parents or or my great aunts. I know that my mom had 2 sets. One was hers and one was my great aunt's, and I'm not sure which one these are, but as you can see, a little one really loved them. But kind of funny, but not funny story. So when these light up, their little candles in their hands obviously light up, and they get very hot. Well, she went up and touched it, and she started crying, but actually it was one of those things where she had to learn, and she has not tried to touch them since. So it was sad when she cried and everything, but kind of glad it happened because now she stays away. This was before that happened, obviously, but she loves them, and they're just her size too. So as you saw, she went up and gave them a hug, and I let her check them out up close and personal just so she could kind of get her curiosity out of the way. And then after that, it was time to light the tree.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! Look at the tree!
Now, this is an elf I got from like a discount place local to here, and it's supposed to light up and play music, but it unfortunately doesn't. Obviously, Amelia was very excited. All right, now we're going to move on to the little shelf over the play kitchen. And like I said, this is kind of all the decor that does not fit in the rest of my house. So I'm not going to say this is my greatest styling of a shelf I've ever done. I just kind of threw things up here. But I started off with like this snow blanket, and then I went in with some fairy lights. I just thought it would be fun to light up this shelf as well. So I am kind of tucking them underneath the little snow blanket. And then I'm going to hang some command strips because we are going to put some stockings on here, and I'll explain the whole stocking situation in a second. It's actually kind of funny. Anyways, I'm going to go in with this North Pole sign. I'm not sure where I got that. I've had it for a couple years now. I don't know where I got this either, but I thought it was funny. Then this little sign, I think came from like CVS or Walgreens, something like that, but it's Santa's Workshop, and I thought it was so cute with all the little elves. And then I got this from Cracker Barrel last year. You can never over decorate, and boy, is that the truth. And if my videos are not, it does not prove that, I don't know what will. All right, so here are the fun stockings. Now, I do have pretty stockings that hang in the living room over the fireplace. But when Santa comes, he knows that these are the stockings that he is to put the presents in. Why do I have 2 sets of stockings? Don't know. I really don't know. This is just how I roll. So I just go with it. But I loved the little elf on the girls' stockings, and I was just going to get them each a stocking, but I was like, no, we all have to match. And you'll see at the end, I end up adding another one for Romeo's stocking, and that just came from like Dollar Tree years ago, and I just added some sticker letters to spell out his name. All right, now we are going to move over to the bookshelf, and I've been waiting for this moment ever since I put this bookshelf up. It is time to fill this with all of our Christmas stories and all of our Christmas books. Now, I know that we have more Christmas books than this, so I'm going to have to go through my daughter's room and look for some more to fill this bookshelf, but for now, I think it's cute.
Joy to the world. Get cozied up. The journey's not done. Can't wait to have more Christmas fun. Yay!
I hope you enjoyed her little performance. She actually made that rhyme up, and I thought it was super cute. So over here, I'm just going to add some simple signs, and then I have this really pretty Santa's Village pillow, and I think that I got that from Ross 2 years ago. Then I've had these pillows forever, so I just thought I'd add Minnie and Rudolph, and then, of course, I had to add a Christmas towel to their little kitchen, and to top it all off, I added the phone to the North Pole, and that completed the playroom ready for Christmas.
Christmas decorated in town. Among all the tinsel and lights, I'm strolling around, just wondering where you have gone to. Are you just around the corner or in Kathmandu? And whether or not you're with somebody new, still I wish you the merriest Christmas. I hope it will be all that you dream. I have nothing but love for you. You can trust that to be true. Yeah, I wish you the merriest Christmas of all. I built myself a new life from the ground up. A beautiful wife, 2 kids, and a dog pup. Still sometimes I wonder if you're near or off yonder, though I couldn't tell you why. But wherever you are, near or afar, outside my door or in some...
All right, now we're going to move over to the entryway, and so I am going to take this extremely long garland all the way up. Now, you'll have to excuse the angles here. It's kind of hard to record the whole banister, the whole staircase in one shot, so you are going to have to see, or I am going to have some different angles. But basically, to attach this garland to the banister, I'm just going to use those garland ties, and I just get those at Dollar Tree, and I actually twist 2 to together to make it a little longer. And then just like every 2 rungs, I guess, I go ahead and add one of those garland ties. So there's a lot of different ways you can hang garland. You can do a swag, you can do on the side, but for my staircase, I choose to do it right on top. The reason being is when you walk in through the front door, the staircase is one of the first things you see. So I wanted it to be just a straight on visual effect. So you just open the door and boom, you see the garland going straight up. So if the banister was like to the side of the house or something, I may swag it or I may put it on the side, but I just decided to go straight up. Now this part up here that I'm here, I actually tilt that over a little bit so you can see all the decoration that I'm going to add. You'll see in a minute, but that way you can see it and those garland ties aren't as obvious. So you can see that I'm kind of pushing it to the side and I push it even more over and I am fluffing it as I go. Now at this point, I am putting that smaller garland on this smaller side, but you're only going to see me build up the longer side. I do that smaller side off camera. It was just harder or easier to do that because of all the different angles. So I'm going to go in with this burlap ribbon first, and I'm just going to start at the bottom. I'm just going to use the branches from the garland. I'm going to twist it. I'm going to go up a few inches, tuck it in, and use the branches again, twist 2 together, go up a few inches, twist 2 together, and I'm just going to do that for the whole way up and over on the garland. So this is what I've been doing for the last couple of years, and I really love it. Now, I still love all of the decor in my house, so I'm not going to buy anything. Well, I'm not going to say anything new, but I'm not going to go buy a whole new set of decor or anything. I'm just still loving that rustic look, and that's one thing you're going to notice in this entryway. It's very rustic because I wanted it to carry through from the front porch. Now, if you missed my front porch decorating video, it will be on my channel and I will link it in the description box below, but you've got to check that out. I also decorated my master bedroom and bathroom and then the kitchen and coffee bars. So you're definitely going to want to check those videos out because they came out really, really festive. All right, next I'm going to go in with this sparkly red ribbon and I'm kind of just curving it. So I started at the bottom, I looped it on one side and then just kind of looped it over, and this I wanted it to look like it was intertwined between the burlap ribbon, so I just kind of tied it at an angle on both ends, and I did this going all the way up and over.
Told lies. I can only hope that Santa Claus and my records agree. Then maybe this year Santa's coming home to me. I have found the perfect tree and just it to the nines. I've even made little gingerbread Santas. There's nothing left to chance. This year,
So as you saw, I did go in with some frosted berry picks, and now I'm just going in with these gold little flowers. I did get these from the Dollar Tree last year. Now, unfortunately, I forgot to move the camera up, so I only got footage of me putting those 2 up, and then I got out of frame. So I apologize, but you get the picture. I went all the way up and over. Now, I'm going to take this bow that I got from Hobby Lobby and I'm going to put it in the corner, and then I'm going to take these rustic bells and put this over the bow. Now, if you watched my front porch decorate with me, I actually used 2 sets of these over the garland, or on the garland over my front door. So that's why I said that I wanted to follow, the rustic look into the entryway, and I'm using some of the same items to do that. And these bells, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with. I love them. And they did come from Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure if they have them this year, but I got those last year. Now, to the front of the banister, I'm going to go in with these bells from Target Dollar Spot this year, and I'm just using a pipe cleaner to go ahead and just kind of twist it. I'm sorry, I know it's out of frame, but there's like that little ball on top, so I'm kind of twisting it underneath, and then I'm going to go in with a bow that somewhat matches the bow that I just put up on top, and I am going to put that over the top part right here of the bells. This is just hard to explain. It's just easier to watch what I'm doing. And again, I just used a pipe cleaner to go ahead and do that as well. So I thought that, oh my gosh, adding these bells are so popular, and I actually had some from last year that I totally forgot about, which you're going to see me use on that tree, but I love how this came out. Moving on to the tree in the entryway, I am going to go in with my ribbon, and I'm sorry about the lighting in here. It did start to get darker, but it's only at this point like 5 p.m., so I do apologize. But I'm going to go in with this ribbon that I actually... Ooh, gosh, I don't even remember where I got it. Maybe Hobby Lobby. I got like 2 years ago. But I am just going to go around. Don't mind the mess in my kitchen. We do live here, so don't mind the mess. Anyways, I'm just going to kind of twist it around, and just every few inches, twist 2 branches around it. Now, of course, I'm going to speed up this whole process of decorating a tree because it's just decorating a tree. Now, I've always said I am not good at the whole ribbon thing. I just don't have enough patience for it. I just kind of like want to get it done. And I always say that the tree is ugly before it looks pretty. So I know it looks ugly right now, but just bear with me, because as we start adding things on top and adding the prettier things on top, it will look a little better. At least in my opinion, it will look a little better. So I am going for rustic again on this tree. All of these things, or the majority of these things, I did buy like 2 years ago, but if I can remember where I got them from, I'll let you know. Next, I'm going to go in with this red beaded garland, and I'm just going to start up top, and I'm just going to twist it around, going down at an angle. And then I'm going to go in with these really pretty ornaments from Hobby Lobby, and I did get like I said, everything came from Hobby Lobby 2 years ago. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of just spread those around. As you can see, I'm not putting anything in the back because you can't see the back. Then I'm going to go in with these smaller snowflake ornaments, and again, I'm bringing in that rustic look by having all these burlap ornaments here, and those also came from Hobby Lobby. Actually, I'm like 99% sure everything on this tree except for that beaded garland came from Hobby Lobby. Nope, I'm pretty sure the beaded garland also came from Hobby Lobby. No, that might have come from Walmart. Anyways, next I'm going to go in with these red ornaments, and I'm just going to spread them around. Now, I know I need to add more red ornaments, but they are packed away with my living room stuff. So once I get that stuff out, I will go ahead and throw more on there. Next, I'm going to add these berry picks, definitely from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to spread them around. And I love them because they are the frosted berry picks. So I just thought that they went perfect in this tree and added that really nice pop of like that deep red color. So I really liked adding those. So next you're going to see me go in with a string of bells. I would have added this before, but I didn't find it. I could not find it. So, of course, after I got all those decorations on, I came across it. So now I'm just going to go ahead and kind of just loop it, like swag it back and forth in the front of the tree. And I am trying to hide the twine behind the ornaments so it's not covering the ornaments. So obviously, I would have done this first, but like I said, I didn't find it, and I really was not going to take apart the whole tree just to add these bells. But I did feel like it needed something, and even after I'm done with this tree, looking at it, I do still feel like it needs something. It needs pine cones. So I think what I'm going to do is make a little trip to Hobby Lobby, and see if I can find some pine cone picks or ornaments, because I do feel like I need that natural wood in there as well. So stay tuned for that. And here's a plug for my home tour. Any changes that I make off camera after the fact will be seen on my home tour. So that's another reason why you need to turn on those notifications so you know when I upload it. All right, then to top it off, I'm just going to add this star from Hobby Lobby, and it's perfect, goes along with the rustic theme. And then for the bottom, I'm actually going to add a table runner. It's burlap. Now, this spot, as you can tell, is very, very small. So it's not like I could have an actual tree skirt. So that's why I'm going in with this burlap table runner, and I'm kind of arranging it so it's kind of scrunchy and, you know, kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but just, I don't know. So it just lays nicely and covers the legs, but it's also out of the way. And I think that works out perfectly. Now I'm going to go in with this rustic twine deer, and then we're going to move over to the bench. So on the bench, I'm going to go in with this Believe in the Season pillow. I really don't remember where this came from. I apologize. Then to the bottom or underneath the bench, I'm going to go in with this basket. And on one side, I'm going to add this plaid blanket that I think came from like TJ Maxx or Home Goods, one of those stores. And then I'm going to add some firewood to the other side. And this just came from my backyard. So I did ask my husband nicely if he could go outside and get me 3 really good pieces of firewood, inspect them for bugs, and then bring them inside. Now, I did feel like it needed something else. So in a minute, I am going to add some greenery, and you'll see that coming up. But first, I'm going to put out this set of 3 rustic gift boxes. I know it's kind of weird to have these here, but I love them because it's so, the ambiance is so just amazing when this is lit up and the tree is lit up in the entryway, and then the garland and everything. It really makes it feel like cozy, festive, rustic Christmas, and I love it. I actually got this set of 3 on Facebook Marketplace, so I don't know where they originally came from, but I am just going to arrange them here. And then there is a plug underneath that bench, and that's why I like to have that basket there to hide, to attempt to hide all of the cords. It sometimes doesn't, but at least it doesn't make it look as noticeable as it would if there was not anything there. But just look how pretty. And I love the warm lights, like the ones that almost look like they're yellow. All right, so then this is when I decided that I needed to add something. So I had this beautiful spray of berries and greenery. So I just decided to add that in the basket, and it was just what it needed. To complete this area, I'm just going to add this little lantern that I thought was the perfect little addition on the bench. All right, now we're going to move on to the entryway table. I'm going to go in with this burlap runner, and I am just going to place it right in the middle. And then I'm going to go in with these, look at these candlesticks. Aren't they gorgeous? My aunt also gave me these, so I'm not sure where they came from originally, but I did feel like I wanted one to be higher than the other. So I'm just going to add this little red riser to the one on the outside. And then I'm just going to go in with these candles from Hobby Lobby. And I do like that they are ivory. At first I didn't, but now looking back I do, because I do think that it's very colorful at the end. So I think that adding red or green may have been too much. So I just love that color ivory. Now these trees, oh my gosh, I've had these for at least 10 years. It has to be. And so I decided to put these on the side. I thought they were kind of glitzy and rustic, which, by the way, if you haven't caught on, this is kind of glitzy rustic. So yeah, it's rustic, but there's glitter. Now I'm going to go in with this little sleigh or sled, and I'm going to add that in the middle, and that's from Hobby Lobby. That sign is from the Dollar Tree, and these trees are from Hobby Lobby as well. Now I know it looks like a lot going on here, but I just wanted to wow people from the second they walked in my home. So I am kind of going to switch stuff up. I moved one of the trees to the other side with the candlesticks, and then I'm going to rearrange. I'm going to switch those other trees on the other side. So I am kind of working with it a little, and I think I still might tweak it a little bit. But I do love this entryway. Like I said, I just wanted people to be wowed. Next, I'm going to go in with just a simple wreath, and I'm going to hang that on this, I don't know, plexiglass thing. This makes it hard to decorate sometimes, but I found that hanging wreaths really work there. But after I put the wreath on, that's it. That completes the entryway.
Merry Christmas, baby. Reindeer's coming out to play. Santa Claus is packing the presents, making sure you've been behaving okay. Merry Christmas, honey. Yeah. The snowman's dusting off his hat, putting on the show for everybody, to give them a smile that lasts another year. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December ends, when the children are singing, yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Merry Christmas, baby. The snow is laying 2 feet deep. Now wish upon a falling star, so all your secret dreams can come true. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December is, when the children are singing, yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby.
Okay, the moment you've all been waiting for, the Grinchmas bathroom. Yes, I am crazy. Let's get this out of the way. I do squeeze a tree by the toilet. Now, I did this last year and people commented and said, yes, it's silly and it's crazy, but that's what Whoville is. It's silly and it's crazy. In fact, the joke in my house, and when guests came over, I told them not to pee on my tree. But I've always wanted a Grinch tree, so you know what? I was determined and I'm doing it, and I did it. So as you see, this was decorated from last year. I just threw a trash bag over it and bada bing, bada boom, it's good enough. I am going to go in and just kind of fix it up a little bit, and if some bulbs maybe fell off, I'm just going to replace them or kind of fill any holes that I see. But for the most part, it actually held up pretty well. Now, there's no lights around here because there's no outlet near this, so I didn't even bother. But this is just like one of those $5 trees from Five Below that I got last year. Now, this was just a party decoration that I thought would be the perfect topper. And then I'm just going to go in with this Dollar Tree tree skirt underneath. Now, a lot of these are DIYs that I made on the other channel last year. Again, you can check those out. But I'm going to go in with this fake snow, and then on top, I'm going to put this sleigh that I made last year. And I'm going to put it on one side. And then on the other side, I'm actually going to put a Whoville tree that I also made. And that I did not actually record. I made that before my channel, or I started my channel, so I apologize about that. But I am just going to add that to the other side, and look how funny. I think that is so cute. This was all made out of Dollar Tree supplies as well, so I thought that was perfect there. Then I'm going to go ahead and add in this candle that I also made, and that's to represent his heart growing 3 sizes. Now, this I made just a few weeks ago on the other channel, and I thought it was perfect because every year we have Grinchmas and I take a picture, so I thought I'd add that. into the picture frame, and look at my little Grinches. They are just so cute. Or my little Who's, I should say. All right, then moving down to the third. Now, I don't really love this shelf. I'm going to play with this shelf a little bit more. I might make a trip to Hobby Lobby and pick up something just to add. You know, they have a ton of Grinch decor. So I'm just kind of working with what I have right now. But again, that resting Grinch face sign, that was just party decor, and I just taped it to a picture frame to help it stand. That bobblehead came from Five Below, and then this candle came from the Dollar Tree. Then on the toilet, I made this, and it says stink, stink, stunk, and I thought it was hilarious being on a toilet. And then this just came from Hobby Lobby, so I thought I'd throw that on top. Now, I also made this dump it to Crumpet, because that's the sign in Whoville, and Crumpet is where the Grinch lives. That's where all the trash goes, so genius. Yeah, I definitely got that from Pinterest. Can't take credit. All right, next I'm going to add this sign over my towel bar. That came from Hobby Lobby last year. Now, these red towels, they just came from the Dollar Tree, and I just use these as layering pieces, because then I'm going to go in with this little hand towel that I actually got from Hobby Lobby this year. And I just loved this quote, and I really wanted it somewhere in this bathroom. So when I saw that it came on a hand towel, I was like, yes, I need it. So I'm going to go ahead and layer that over. Now, I know it's crooked. See, the problem is I'm trying to see it straight on, but if I actually do that, I'll be blocking the camera. So I have to kind of go at an angle. And at this point when I'm doing it, I could not tell that these were crooked, but now obviously I can see, so I'll go back and fix it. So don't worry. And in fact, by the time you see the final look, it'll be better. But anyway, the Grinch did decide to join us as we were decorating, you know, his bathroom. He did decide to make an appearance, and there he is. He's checking out all the decor, making sure that we're doing him some justice, doing a good job. He might be yelling at me. I'm not quite sure. Next, I'm going to go in with the soap that I made too. I made this little tray with a window cling, and I'm going to do the same thing I did last year. I'm just going to go in with this Dollar Tree tree. And then I made this candle. I actually cut that face out from the Cricut. I also made this Who hash cup, and inside, I know it's weird in a bathroom, but people loved it last year. I'm adding these Grinch kisses, and hello, perfect. So I had to steal one. All right, next I also made this, and so I'm just going to add it to this corner. Now for my hand towel, I am changing it out because it gives me the creeps. I hate microfiber. I hate it. But this is just kind of the only thing I had to kind of go in this bathroom, but I am on the hunt for something different. Then I also hung this that I made last year as well, and I'm obsessed with the sign. I love how it came out. Next, for the top of the vanity, I'm going to add this like kind of Grinchy garland. I got it at Hobby Lobby, and it instantly reminded me of the Grinch. And then my daughter went and gathered up her stuffed animals, so I didn't really know what else to put up here. So I'll probably build it up more next year, but for now I just decided to use Max, Cindy Lou Who, and the Grinch. So I'm just going to place these up here for now, and like I said, maybe I'll change it. And you know if you follow me, my favorite time to shop is after Christmas or after the holiday. So I'll see what kind of Grinchy stuff they have left at Hobby Lobby or just in stores, and I'll keep this area in mind when I shop. Now, I'm just so mad too because after Christmas last year in January, Amazon had a sale on this set of Grinch decor. It was bathroom rugs, a shower curtain, which I would not need, and then a hand towel for $6 or $7. So I bought it. I don't think I ever got it, and I think I honestly forgot about it. So I'm really mad that that never came in, because in my head I thought that I had it handled for this year, and then realized, oh, I don't think I ever got that stuff. So for now, I'm actually going to go in with just this basic red bath mat, and it's good enough for now. And then, like I said, every year I kind of add. That way I don't have to spend so much money and get everything at once. But after this, my Grinchmas bathroom is complete.
Well, I'm all for Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, And I want it all, from the lights to the mistletoe. Tell me one thing, is there anything that you're missing? I will keep you warm as soon as you remove that snow. Whatever we do, we will be alright. These holiday wonders will open your mind. May all your wishes tonight come true. The love I lived, the dream I knew. This Christmas I only wanna be close to you. Whatever we do, we will be alright. These holiday wonders will open your mind. May all your wishes tonight come true. The love I lived, the dream I knew. Well, I'm all for Christmas. It's a magical time full of kisses. Take a walk outside and tickle the snowman's nose. Moving nimbly, did you hear something from the chimney? I will keep you warm as soon as you remove that snow. Oh, whatever we do, we will be all.
Hi, Dino. Hi, Daddy.
Come on, Sarah.
It is time to get to work decorating one of my favorite places in my home, the living room. I love decorating the mantle, and I just think it's so elegant and so pretty, and it's right outside my room, so the first thing I see in the morning are all the lights and the colors, and it just makes me so happy. We are gonna go with a red and gold theme with little rustic touches here and there, but I feel like I bring it all together nicely, and I cannot wait to share it with you. All right, well, I'm excited, and we are gonna start over here on the mantle, my favorite place to decorate, so let's start decorating. So real quick, I'm here. I wanted to show you this hack. So I actually last year put nails, I don't know if you can see these, put nails in the back of my mantle, and then I took my garland and put wire on it. So all I do is twist it around, and this really helped to keep my garland up. I was using command hooks, and as I started decorating it last year, it fell off at least 5 times. So I had to start all over again. But this was a lifesaver. I actually saw this on somebody's YouTube decorating video, and I was like, yes, that's what I need to do. So I went ahead and put all the wire. It's all on there from last year. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply my garland.
Okay, so obviously the first thing we need to do is hang the garland. So I am just putting the wires on the nails that are already there. Now, if you notice at the corners of the mantle, it doesn't necessarily go to the corner. So I do end up taking those nails out and moving them directly in the corner. I hope that makes sense. So that way the garland goes all the way down. Next, I'm going to put my window back up. And then this is a DIY I made on my channel, my crafting channel a few years ago. So I am just going to place that right in front of the mirror. Now, what you don't see is that I actually have a little riser in front of that because we are going to be putting a nativity set on there. And I thought that I would rise up baby Jesus and also this sign. The sign is on it too. All right, now I'm going to go in with my chunky candlesticks, and I made those little candle rings a couple years ago too on my channel with the greenery and the pine cones and the berries. And then it was time to light it up. Now I'm going to go through and fluff all of the little branches. I don't know about you, but this is my least favorite part, but it is so important to do. But I wanted to put all that stuff on top before I decorated my garland because I didn't want to smush my garland all decorated while putting the stuff on top, if that made sense. All right, so now I'm going to go in with this burlap ribbon, and I honestly don't know where I got it. It was a few years ago, and I'm just going to wrap it around the bottom, and I am going to do the loop method. So you just wrap it, you twist 2 branches around it, and then you go up a few inches, you push it in or kind of pinch it, and then you wrap it around 2 branches, and then you go up a few inches. So you just do that the whole time. Now you do want to make sure that the part that is sticking out, like the little loop, is fluffy, kind of like bigger, and that way it looks better and kind of sticks out. So I just did this going around my whole garland, and I love doing this. I started doing it when we first moved into this house and that my first Christmas here, which I believe was 2021. So I'm just going to do this going all down my garland. It's pretty easy to do, and once you start the first 2, it actually goes pretty quick. So it seems like it would be a lot of work, but it really isn't. Now, I always say about garlands or trees, it always looks ugly before it gets pretty. So once you start to build it up, and as you start building it up, it's going to look so much better. So never stop at this part and think, oh my gosh, this looks terrible. Just keep on going. I promise once you build up the decor on your garland or your tree, it'll look so great after you're done. All right, so now I'm going to go in with this ribbon, and it's just like a sparkle glittery ribbon, and I'm just going to do the same thing, but I'm going to go in the opposite direction. Now, a couple years ago when I did this, or first started doing this, I already had cut these into strips, so they're already cut for me. I am really bad at trying to guess how long these are, but just kind of use your judgment. But basically, I am just going to loop these going kind of at an angle, and I'm going to kind of go at a zigzag. I want this to look like the red ribbon is intertwined in the garland and the burlap ribbon. I really hope that makes sense. Now, it might be weird mixing the burlap ribbon with the sparkly red ribbon, but that's what I meant when I said I am going to do the gold and the red with little touches of rustic decor. And I think it all came together nicely, but you're going to have to let me know what you think about it. Next, I'm going to go in with these ornaments, and I had put these on little strips of pipe cleaner. I just cut one probably into thirds, and that makes it easy for me to wrap these on. Now, in my opinion, I like it when the bulbs look like they're nicely tucked in there and they're not like hanging down. So I like it when they're just nestled in to the garland or the greenery, but you can do it however you like. And I'm kind of just alternating gold and red, but then I'm mixing in matte gold or red or sparkle. So I'm kind of just changing it up. Now I'm going to add that pick right there. That was actually from Hobby Lobby, and it's like a big bunch of ornaments, and you're going to see those picks used all throughout the room, except I am going to have to buy more for the tree. Next, I'm going to go in with these gold and red picks that I actually got from Temu, and they are so pretty. I love them. They're great quality. I actually have a video of a Temu haul coming up, and we're going to do some DIYs with some of the stuff I got, and that way we can decorate my dining room in vintage theme. So definitely catch that. That's going to be fun, and I can't wait to start crafting all the nostalgic pieces for my dining room. So I'm just going to go in and just kind of alternate red, gold, red, gold. Some of them I having leaning towards the left, some I have pointing towards the right. I just kind of used my judgment on that. Next, I'm going to go in with these little red flowers, I guess. And these I got from the Dollar Tree last year, and I'm just going to sprinkle them in here and there. And this is how my garland turned out, and I am in love. I don't know if you caught it, but I did put a big poinsettia in the middle right there, and that's where baby Jesus is going to go. So Now that the garland is done, it is time to do the rest of the top of the mantle. So I'm going to go in with these red trees. These actually came from Menards, and I'm adding this because I felt like it needed red up on the mantle too, because we're about to add a ton of white, which is the nativity. Now, my mom actually made this nativity and gifted it to me for my wedding shower, and she has the set, and she actually made my sister a set. So all three of us have the same exact set, and she puts hers on her mantle, so I decided to go ahead and put mine on my mantle, and I believe that's where my sister's going to put hers too. So it's just really special because, you know, we all have the same, and it's even more special because my mom made all of the pieces. So I'm just going to go ahead and arrange my nativity scene. I can never remember how I do it, and I don't really know if there's a specific way you're supposed to do it. But I'm just going to kind of move things around and play with the pieces a little bit until I get it exactly to how I love it.
Oh, come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Sing, choirs of angels, sing in exaltation, sing all ye.
Now it's time to add the stockings, and I should have really added these hangers before I put the nativity on there because now I have to work around these pieces, but now I'll remember for next year. But I did get these in a pack from Hobby Lobby, and I like them because there's no topper, so they just hang there. And then the stockings I actually got from Michael's in 2020 after Christmas. So I just, when I saw these, I loved it, and that's where the little rustic touches come in, because this, I wouldn't really call those elegant. I would kind of call it rustic. I don't know. I think the burlap makes it a little rustic. Let me know what you think. But I think it all looks so pretty here. So I just put 2 on one side and 2 on the other. Next, I'm going to go in with this beautiful sleigh and arrangement that I got from TJ Maxx last year, or Home Goods, one of the two. And it does light up. I just didn't have any batteries, but I thought it was perfect for my fireplace when I saw it. Now I'm going to take my gold lanterns, and I am actually going to add some gold and red ornaments inside each one of these lanterns. Now you are going to see this side of the fireplace kind of switch up a little bit because I completely forgot that I bought some decor last year at Michael's after Christmas for like 80% off, and when you see it, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, yes, I know why you had to have it, because it matches this perfectly. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and fill up these lanterns with some ornaments. Okay, look at these lanterns from Michael's. Are these not the perfect pieces for my fireplace? So I ended up just removing one of the gold lanterns, and I'm just going to add this set right here. And I did add a candle in them too, and I love how it turned out. Moving on to my TV stand, I am going to add a garland, and I'm going to use command hooks for this. Now, command hooks do work, but you do have to make sure that they are strong, and put them on and leave them up there for like a half hour before you attempt to put the garland on, because I had some troubles with this. But eventually I did get it to stay, and we had to light it up. And I got this banner from Michael's again in 2020 after Christmas, and I am in love with it. It says, "Believe in the magic of Christmas," and I love what it says. So I'm going to just kind of use the branches of the garland to help it stay in there. And I'm kind of just going to weave it in and out so it looks like it is just in the garland. I don't know how to explain it, but you see what I'm doing here. Now I do want this to look like a banner, so on the ends I am actually going to use 2 of the branches to wrap around it, and I love how it's cut at the ends of it. So I'm just gonna kind of arrange it, and I am using the branches just to kind of fold over, and I'm making sure that there's no branches behind it so it's not too puffy and stick out too much. But one thing I do hate is when the garland like flails out to the side. So I started actually putting a command hook on the side here, and then I just wrap it, the garland or like a branch around the command hook. So that way it stays in place and it doesn't look so crazy. And I think that this really helps, and it helps when you go to decorate it too. So you want to put the command hook facing the opposite direction. That way you can just slide it in and it's not going to go anywhere. Now for this one, I just took a branch and just wrapped it around the hook, and so far so good. Next, I'm going to go in with more of those bulbs. I decided not to do the ribbon on this because I didn't want it to be too much, and I didn't want to take away from the banner in the garland. So I, again, am just going to take these ornaments and just kind of alternate sparkly red, matte gold, sparkly gold, matte red, you know, things like that. So I'm alternating colors and styles. So I kind of lost some footage here, but I also used that pick that had all those ornaments on it, and I went ahead and put those at the top. So I just went on the sides, and then I felt like the top was kind of bare. So I did tuck some small ornaments on the top of the garland as well. And again, I like the look of the bulbs to look like they are tucked in there and nestled right into the garland. So I don't really necessarily like them hanging. So that's another reason why I like using the pipe cleaner, because you can really get it tight on there and it'll stay. So on this shelf, I'm simply just going to put this piece from Hobby Lobby, and you'll notice like this striped design in the whole living room. And then moving to the top, I have these mercury glass trees from Menards. And then I have these gold deer from Target last year, but they were only $5. They're cardboard or something. So I'm just going to put those right in front of the trees. And then I have this big tree that I actually got from Hobby Lobby. And then I have 2 small trees I'm going to put on either side. Now, I did order some gold tea lights from Amazon. At this point, they were not here, so I did not get to put them on. But when they come, I will add them. So real quick, I want to show you this really neat device here. It is a remote control plug, and this is so helpful to me because the plug is on my wall, but it's going to be hidden by the tree. So now I don't have to fight the tree to get back there. I actually got this last year, and it was so helpful. So what I'm going to do is actually unplug this. Now this third plug right here is going to be for the tree when I put it up. So I'm just going to plug this right into the wall, and then I'm going to plug this right into it. And now it is on. So I just pushed the on. You could see the blue. So now we're going to come over here to the lights, and I'm going to point it towards the plug, but I'll just show you. So off, and now it just turned everything off. And when my tree is plugged in, it'll do the same. So isn't that neat? Like on. So I love this, and I just kind of hide the remote up there. That way no one touches it, but I'm going to be honest, I keep my lights on all month long because why not? Anyways, so there is that little device, and that's how it works. And I will leave the link in the description box below if you're interested. That goes to my Amazon shop, so you can kind of see what other things I got there too. All right, moving on to the shelf above my couch, and I promise it's straight. It's my camera that's crooked. So I'm going to go in with the sign that I bought from the Target dollar spot a few years ago. And then these trees came from Hobby Lobby, and I love them because they're tall, so it adds some height on this shelf. And if you missed my last video, this was one of the DIYs that I did on my living room refresh. So definitely check that out to see how I made that shelf. Now I'm going to go in again with these striped trees. These came from Menards a couple years ago. And then I'm going to go in with this little house, and it has gold on the side, which I thought was perfect. Next, I'm going to go in with this gold tree. And then I am going to add like one of those cheapy garlands from the Dollar Tree, but I am going to wrap some fairy lights around it so it will light up. And then I'll finish my shelf with more of those picks that have all the ornaments. Moving on to my end tables, I'm just going to wipe them down from, all the glitter from everything. And I like to keep these simple. So I always have a placemat on here and a coaster and then a little piece of decor. So I'm going to go with this little gold reindeer, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other one as well. I don't like to put a lot of things on the end tables because my daughter, she likes to put some of her toys on there, and just things always get knocked over. If you notice, I don't even have lamps on them. So I like to keep them kind of clear of a lot of decor because I don't want things to get knocked down and broken. All right, moving on to the pillows and the blankets. I actually bought these pillow covers from Amazon a few years ago. And I now am going to stuff these pillows inside, and then we're going to put them on the couch. Now, if you're interested in these pillow covers, they will be in my Amazon link in the description box below. So you can definitely check that out. But I love them because I feel like they go perfectly with the red pillows that I'm going to add, and they're kind of cream colored. So I think they complement each other perfectly, and the pillows that I stuffed inside are so comfortable. So I love them. All right, next I'm going to go in with these Rae Dunn Joy pillows. And again, it has like that burlap feel. And then I'm going to go in with this really pretty pillow from TJ Maxx. I don't know if you can see, but there's little sparkles on it. So I'm just going to pop that right in the middle. Then to my blanket basket, the yellow isn't really vibing in this room, so I'm going to use this red blanket to kind of hide the majority of it. And then I'm going to add another pillow. It's Rae Dunn. Got it a few years ago, but it has that red and white stripe or burlap stripe, which goes perfectly with all of my other decor. All right, now we're going to move on to this little stand that I have behind the couch, and this is all about Santa. So this will be all things that you kind of correlate with Santa. So of course we have to go in with a Santa nutcracker. That's a countdown. And then we have to go in, of course, with milk and cookies. And look at this little photo frame. I love it. I actually did switch that out because from the time of recording this to the time, till now, they did see Santa this year. So I actually updated that picture. And then we have the plate. Now, Amelia made this a few years ago in 2020 for Santa, but the girls did go this year and make a new one with both their handprints that we'll use when we get it back and from now on. Then I'm going to go in with this DIY milk I made. I'm just going to put that on top. And of course, if there's milk, you have to have cookies. So I got these gingerbread ornaments from Hobby Lobby last year and thought they would be perfect on that plate. To the bottom, I'm just going to add this sleigh full of gold and red ornaments, and then Santa's boots, and then of course you have to have the naughty and nice list. I'm happy to say my girls are both on the nice list as of now, right this second, but that could change. All right, now we're going to move on to the blanket ladder. And I'm just going to add 2 simple blankets on here. And then I'm going to add just kind of like a string of ornaments, and I DIY'd some bells on my other channel a couple years ago. So I'm going to add that to the side. Now, obviously, we use more blankets than this, but I did have that blanket basket. So that's where all of our like non-holiday blankets go. So if it doesn't match the room, I hide all of those blankets in that little blanket basket. And then as you saw, I always add a festive or holiday blanket and pillow on the top. So after my blanket ladder is complete, that does complete the living room, but stay tuned because we still have to decorate the tree. Coming up, I'm going to show you what my living room looks like during the day, but hang on till the end because I'm going to show you what it looks like all lit up at night.
Whoa, oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh, oh. La, da, da, da. Making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new. Cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh, la da da da, oh, 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 la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da. Making our Christmas memories. I've been wrapping presents for you. I've been hanging marbles in the tree. And I've lit my house with Christmas lights. So you should come back home to me. And when we wake up in the morning, I'm gonna play those carols that you love. We'll be singing all the melodies until the sun comes up. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh, la da da da, oh, 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 la da da da. Making our Christmas memories. Yes, these are the good times with you. Don't even care what we do if I spend it with you. Just you and nobody else. It's so good to see you again. To see you again. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire, chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, yeah. I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be?
Okay, so this is a new day, or night rather, which explains the outfit change. And this is just one of those things where I just needed to get it done. So I went ahead and put my tree together, or halfway together. You'll see all the real life struggles here in a minute. But this tree I actually got from Facebook Marketplace. When we first moved in, I really wanted like a nice elegant tree for this room. I do have the fun tree, which is in the playroom, and that has the colored lights, but I just wanted more of like a warm, cozy, elegant, look. So, yep, I put the wrong thing on. Yep, change it out. Okay. Anyways, so I went to Facebook Marketplace and I could not believe that I found this. It was lit and everything for $80. I snatched it right up. I made Brandon go get it right away, and I am obsessed with it. You'll see at the end a closer look of the branches, but they're kind of flocked a little bit. I don't know what you would call it because it's like flocked but not flocked. I don't know. But it is gorgeous, gorgeous. So my little helper helped me put the top on, and oh, looky there, a whole strand of lights out. So we are going to cut footage because I had to deal with that. Ran to the Dollar Tree and just bought some lights to just put on for now. They don't match perfectly, but I think after this tree is decorated, you're not going to be able to notice. All right, so I'm not going to take you step by step of decorating this tree because it's just decorating a tree. And I do not claim to be the best tree decorator, but I'm just going to show you what I do. So what I did was take that same ribbon that matches the mantle. I'm going to start in the back. I cut that part out, but you start in the back and wrap it around, and you're just going to do the loop and tuck method. And again, I'm just using the branches from the tree to help, kind of stick it on there or loop it in. And I am going down at an angle. Now, I know what you're thinking, Ashley, there is a huge gap there. Don't worry. We're going to fix it. I'm going to go in with another strand. I'm going to go a few inches down from where I started before and do the same thing going around the tree. Now, truth be told, you cannot see the back. Do I decorate it? Heck no. And I don't even fluff the ribbon back there. I literally just pull it. That way I have more ribbon to work with in the front too. And it's a good thing you can't see the back because it ain't pretty. But you do what you got to do to make your little sections work out. So I'm going to go ahead, and that is still the same string, the second one, so I wrapped it around. So now we have more ribbon, so I'm going to go in with that sparkly ribbon, and I'm going to go in between all of the burlap. Now, some of this is cut down, some of it is not. I just kind of used my judgment on what would fit, and again, I'm not worried about the back because you don't see it. Don't waste your decorations or energy on decorating something that people aren't going to see. Only you know, and now all my YouTube viewers. But anyways, I'm going to take the red ribbon and I'm going to do the same thing and do that loop method and go all the way to the back of the tree. All right, now I'm going to take this little banner that I got from Hobby Lobby a few years ago, and I'm going to put it kind of towards the top of the tree, and I love having that there. I think it's so pretty, and it matches everything. And I'm just using the branches and the ribbon to help it stay where I want it. And again, I want it to look like it's a banner kind of weaving in and out. And just kind of, I don't know, just in there. You know what I'm doing. All right, next I'm going to go in with the bulbs. I only have 3 of these big bulbs, so I do want to invest in more. I don't even remember where I got them, but that's going to be something I'm on the lookout for with the after Christmas sales from Hobby Lobby or wherever. So I went ahead and just filled in some holes. Some are bigger, some are smaller. Now, don't worry, we have a lot more to add to this tree. But for now, I'm just going to go around with all of these ornaments and just kind of spread them around. Again, I'm not doing anything to the back. Now, I did end up turning this tree just a smidge, so I had to fix it. Now, I am trying a new thing this year, and you've probably seen it all over TikTok or Instagram, but basically you just take a pipe cleaner and you take 3 or 4 bulbs, different colors, different sizes. You stick them on the pipe cleaner, and then you kind of twist it, twist it together, and then you just put it in the tree so you have little bunches of ornaments. Now, I did try this, and I thought it looked really cool. I do. I just wish that I had more ornaments to do more, and I kind of wish that they were bigger. Look at the branches on that tree. They're thick. So I feel like little things get eaten up in this tree. You can't even see them. But I think for the sake of trying it, and when you get up close to the tree, I think it looks really cool. Next, I'm going to go in with these burlap candy canes, and this is where the rustic touch is going to come in on the tree. And I thought it was perfect because it has the burlap and red stripes, which I have going throughout the whole rooms. I thought that it all mixed well together.
Just wondering where you have gone to. Are you just around the corner or in Kathmandu? And whether or not you're with somebody new.
Next, I'm going to go in with these burlap ribbon bows, and this is new to my tree this year because I got them on mega clearance last year at Hobby Lobby after Christmas, probably 75 or 90% off. So I just went ahead and put those all over the tree. And then I'm going to go in with a whole bunch of picks. They came from everywhere. I kind of just collected them over the years. And I'm just going to put all of those in. And then you're going to see me go in with the ones from Temu that I had left over that match the garland. Okay, after the tree was all decorated, I went ahead and gave the floor a quick sweep because next it's time to add the tree skirt. And this tree skirt also came from Michael's at the same time when I bought the stockings, and obviously they match the stockings. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put that around the tree, and then we have one more thing we have to add on the top. It is this very sparkly, very gold, very pretty star from Walmart last year. And once the star was in place, my tree is finally finished. Here it is.
Merry Christmas, baby. Reindeer's coming out to play. Santa Claus is packing the presents, making sure you've been behaving okay. Merry Christmas, honey. Yeah. The snowman's dusting off his hat, on the show for everybody, to give them a smile that lasts another year. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December ends, when the children are singing, yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby.
All right, here it is, the last room in my home to decorate for Christmas, and then this house is all decked out. Hello, my name is Ashley. Welcome to today's video. We are going to decorate my dining room, and if you've been following me, you know we're going vintage. We're gonna start on the hutch, and we're gonna put together a really pretty Christmas village.
So this hutch is really the perfect place to put my Christmas village, and I really don't have a lot of pieces. I'm not like a collector per se. I just really wanted to have a few. Plus, my mom was getting rid of the ones she had. And so I took them, I grabbed them up and thought that I could display them. So the first thing I'm going to do is put down kind of like this snow blanket on each of the levels. I like this because it makes it look like snow. And so some of my houses, like I said, I got from my mom, but the rest of them I actually got from Facebook Marketplace. And even recently, I have seen a ton of these houses for sale. So if you are looking to add some to your collection, definitely look at Facebook Marketplace because you would really, you could really find a lot. Side note, again, I'm sorry about how I sound. My allergies are out of control. I've sounded like this for probably at least a week now. So it's irritating, but I'm so sorry. I'm not sick. It's just my allergies. So I really can never remember how I arrange all of my pieces from year to year, but the top is usually where the houses go, and then the bottom two are where like the businesses, I guess, would go. So I always make a little Christmas tree farm display in the middle with this box display that I made on my channel a few years ago on my crafting channel. And then all of these little Christmas trees came from the Dollar Tree, and they are perfect for this little display. So I'm just going to kind of arrange all of these trees. I have different sizes and different styles. And then I'm going to top it off with a sign that I also made that says Farm Fresh Christmas Trees. And I thought that this was just a cute little display because I feel like in the village, this little village, you would have a Christmas tree farm. This is pretty much like a Hallmark movie, right? So these little things are more DIYs, little red truck, that little sign, and of course, your little red truck has to have a tree in the back. So I apologize, I forgot to move my camera over, but I'm going to add this Annie's Cupcakes place, and that actually came from my mom because her name is Annie. And then on the other side, we have a church. Now we have the ice skating rink. This is also one that I got off of Facebook Marketplace, but unfortunately the tree is too tall. So I always have to bend it down, and we joke that now it's the Whoville tree. So, and you know what? It works out. It's fine. My 6-year-old absolutely loves playing with this village, and she loves the Grinch, so it just works out. All right, next I'm going to add this little winery. This also came from my mom. And then on the other side, I'm going to add a brewery. Apparently this village, it's facing tough times, and everyone needs the winery and the brewery. Then I'm just going to add my little figures all around. Now, don't mind all of the plugs on that side. I do hide them. Now, I don't have anything lit in this video. That's what you're going to have to wait for the home tour for, because I need to figure out power strips and extension cords and all that. So that's going to be coming, but just ignore it, like I said. But I do cover them. So up at the top, like I said, I like to do houses, and I realized I put a church up there. So I'm going to go ahead and replace it with this house. And then I'm just going to go around and just add the little people here and there. Now, a lot of these little people and little figures came from the Dollar Tree because they have a really good selection of things like this. Plus, it's a lot cheaper too. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but I am trying to hide the cords underneath the snow blanket in the back, and I am winding it around or wrapping it around all to the left, because that's where the outlet is. And I know that there is a device that you could get that like helps plug in a bunch of these little houses, so I'm going to have to look into that. So next, I'm going to go in with this little gazebo, and this is always where Santa hangs out. So I'm going to add a little tree in the middle and then add the big guy right out front so he can greet all of the village people. I just realized what I said. Next, on the other side, I'm going to go in with this post office. This I actually got from the Target dollar spot this year, and I really wish I would have picked up a few others. I did get like the little cookie shop or something, candy shop, but that I actually put in the kitchen because it matched my gingerbread theme. So now I'm just going to go around and add some trees and some more people and really bring this village to life.
cared much for winter. Ice and snow leaves me totally cold. But something's up each year in December. I love it like a miner loves gold. It's never about the presents, the turkey or the Christmas tree. It's all about that glow in my baby's eyes that lights a fire inside of me. My baby's just crazy about.
So now I decided that I wanted to add some greenery and to kind of frame this out a little bit. So I believe this garland came from the Dollar Tree, although it looks a little thicker. I had this already in my stash, so I really try to use a lot of things that I already have. So that's why I don't really remember where this is from. Then I'm going to go in with some sparkly red bows, and I'm just going to add one to each corner and then one right in the middle. Now, I did kind of rig these cords to kind of fit inside of that little ledge there. I have command hooks there, which you can't see, so I just kind of hook them in there. So right now I'm just trying to hide them, and as you can see, it did kind of work a little bit. So once my bows were on, my hutch is complete for now. So we're going to move over to this shelf on my wall. I'm going to go in with this super cute tin sign from Temu. I went ahead and added a DIY book on the left. And now I'm adding the Night Before Christmas book and then 2 trees that I made to make kind of vintage. Now, I left it like this for now, but at the very end in the final shots, you're going to see I added some tinsel. Speaking of tinsel, I also made these tinsel wreaths, one for each of my windows on this back wall. All right, now we're going to move to the 4-tiered shelf. I had these wreaths in my stash already, so I like to kind of put them on each shelf just to kind of add a little bit of greenery. And then I'm going to go in with this beautiful piece of Santa knocking on a door. For my second shelf, I am going to add this snowman, and as you saw, I just added something just to kind of raise him up a little bit, and then I'm going to go in with these sweet little kids. They look old-fashioned, and I got these last year at Hobby Lobby. Actually, I'm pretty sure everything on the shelf came from Hobby Lobby. And then on my third shelf, I am going to add a music box tree. This one actually came from my mom, but she no longer used it. And as you can see, it's broken anyways. It doesn't play music, but I just thought that the style fit in perfectly on my shelf over here. Then to the bottom, of course, we have to have the antique or vintage little red truck with its own little tree. Moving on to the bar cart, I'm going to add this tray to the top. This actually came from Dollar Tree Plus, but I thought it was perfect for a vintage dining room. Next, I'm going to go in with this mirror, but I'm going to use it as a tray. And on top, I'm going to add this little vintage looking snowman from Hobby Lobby last year. And then these glasses actually came from Target Dollar Spot last year. Now I'm going to go in with my Christmas china. So you'll see more of this in a little bit, but for now I'm going to add 3 of the little plates, and then I'm going to add this Making Spirits bright cup, and inside I'm going to add some red and white straws from Hobby Lobby. Then I'm going to go in with these fun napkins. I actually got these last year, and I'm going to add them right on top. And then this ornament is actually a tea light candle holder, so I'm just going to add that too. Now I always struggle with decorating a bar cart, or this bar cart, so I don't know. I might add things. I might take things away. This, I don't know. I never love it after I'm done. But actually, I kind of like how this came out. So now we're going to go in with my china plates, the dinner plates. And I'm going to use those kind of as risers. And then I'm going to add this gold bottle brush tree. And I'm going to add this cute little Santa that I got from Hobby Lobby last year. Next, I'm going to go in with more of my china. These are would be like the lunch plate. And then I'm going to stack more of the saucers on there. And I'm going to add this vintage style Christmas tree from Hobby Lobby this year. Then I'm going to go in with this really cute music box and globe, I guess, type of thing. And this was actually a gift from a couple of years ago. So I am adding some garland to the front here. However, in the final shots, you're going to see that I do switch it out because, I just felt like we did not have enough tinsel in this room. And you're going to see that I added tinsel in various places kind of off camera because after I was reevaluating the room, I went a little tinsel crazy. So definitely watch out for those little touches in the final reveal. To complete my bar cart, I'm going to go in with this towel from Dollar Tree. And I just love the print because I swear my mom had something with this print on it and it looks old and vintage. All right, moving on to the table. Oh, I'm obsessed with how this came out and I cannot wait for you to see. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in with a garland and I'm going to flatten it out and we're going to build a beautiful vignette right in the middle. So of course we have to bring in a tinsel tree and I decided to do gold because that is one of the accent colors in here. And then I'm going to go in with these little containers and I am going to use these as risers, but I am going to strategically place the branches of the trees around them to hide them a little bit so you really can't see them. Then to go on top, I'm going to place these mugs with these vintage looking trees that I actually made. I made the Santa one on that DIY video last week and I love how these came out. The cups actually came from Hobby Lobby and then I had those trees in my stash. So now I'm going to add these really fun colored lights. When I was researching a lot of vintage decor, I feel like colored lights were right up there with tinsel. And I was looking for a strand of the big bulbs, but I couldn't find any that were battery operated. Obviously, I can't plug this into a wall. All right, now I'm going to go in with my new little favorite deer. And I got these from Walmart this year, like a month ago, because I knew I wanted to add more to my dining room. So I am going to have them sit on either side of the tree. And then I'm going to go in with these little deer that I got from, it was either Home Goods or TJ Maxx a couple years ago. So I'm going to spread these out as well. So I did want to build up the back of this and I wanted to put items on the back so no matter where you're sitting or looking, there's something to see. So I have more of this garland. So what I'm going to do is put it in the back and then I'm just taking a branch from each of the garlands and twisting them together so it looks like it's all one bunch. I hope that makes sense. All right, now I'm going to go in with these little deer and I am going to put these on either side but facing the other way. And I will actually move the camera to the back of this to show you how I decorated the back side in just a minute. But first I'm going to go in with some candle holders and red candles. And these red candles I feel like my grandma has all over her house. So to me it felt nostalgic because it reminds me of my grandma's house. So I'm going to add 4 and they are kind of different levels too. So that way it gives some height variation in my whole display. Okay, so I had these ornaments in my stash and it kind of felt like they looked a little vintage, old fashioned. So I'm just going to kind of spread these all out amongst the garland wherever I see any holes so they kind of fill it. Now, again, in the end, you are going to see tinsel. Off camera, I did decide to throw some tinsel garland on top of the greenery, and I think it added so much. Now, these are DIYs that I actually made in that DIY video I talked about. So I am also going to use these to cover or fill in some holes as well. Now we're going to go to the back side, and this was a DIY I also made, and literally I am just taking things that I already had and kind of spreading them around. So I thought these bells kind of looked old-fashioned-ish a little bit. I think the velvet ribbon makes me feel like that. And then I'm going to go in with a gold bottle brush tree. Now this backside is something that I'm going to have to kind of add more items as I go. So that's going to be something on my list for when I go to Hobby Lobby and shop the after Christmas sales, like the 75 or 90% off sales. And I have a piece in mind that I would love to get. So I'm really hoping they have that when I go. But then I'm going to take the rest of my little ornaments and spread them around. And actually, I save one for a little DIY I'm going to do in just a little bit. All right, now I'm going to show you my place setting. So I'm going to go in with this gold placemat from Hobby Lobby, a red charger from Dollar Tree, and then my Christmas china. Now, I made these napkin rings with some old napkin rings I have, and I used these little wooden ornaments that I got from Temu. And again, you can catch more of that in that other video. So I'm going to put that right on top. And then I'm going to add a little cup and saucer. Now, of course, it wouldn't be vintage without some creepy looking elves. No, actually, I think these ones are actually kind of cute. I got these from Hobby Lobby, so I thought it would be fun for them to hang on the chandelier. All right, now for the final place, I'm going to do a little vintage Christmas tree. So I'm going to raise it up on this little basket that I have. And then this is just a tree that I've had in my stash for a while. And as you saw, I was actually missing the original stand for it. So I actually just stole the little pieces from those little Dollar Tree trees. And it worked just fine. So now what I'm going to do is go throughout the tree, and I'm going to arrange the branches so they're facing upwards. I noticed in a lot of my research, the tree branches were facing up, so I wanted this tree to look like that and have that style. All right, now look at these clip-on old-fashioned lights. I also got these from Temu, and I really wanted to use these, which is the whole point of this tree right here. So I'm just going to start on one side and just clip them on and then kind of go like on a zigzag. Now, I did not worry about the back. Yes, you could see the tree from the window, but really not enough for it to make an impact. So I just didn't even worry about it. And I would love to add a bigger tree next year. So maybe that'll be on my list for the after Christmas sales this year. So now I'm just going to go through and arrange them. You can see that some of them are kind of leaning over, and I'm just kind of fixing them. And then we're going to go in with tinsel. Now, this is a hack. This is actually hair tinsel from Five Below. I got it for my daughter for her birthday, so don't tell her I stole it to do this little display. But what I did was it was very long, so I actually cut it in half and then half again, so I guess into fourths. So now I'm just going to kind of just throw it all over my tree. I don't know what I'm doing here, but I am just trying to do my best. Let me know down in the comments what, if you guys had a tree like this, what you guys did and how you kind of like put the tinsel on. All right, now I'm going to go in with this super cute retro looking tree color. This came from Walmart a few years ago, and I never had a need for it. So this is another reason why I really wanted to do this tree, so I can actually get some use out of this. But look how stinking adorable. Now to complete my tree, I'm going to go in with this tree topper that I actually made off camera because I totally forgot about this part. I was like, oh shoot, I need a topper. So I kind of Pinterested it and used what I already had in my stash. And now we're going to go in and add just a few more touches like this Merry Christmas sign from Hobby Lobby last year and this old-fashioned vintage-looking reindeer I got from Facebook Marketplace a few years ago. And here is my vintage Christmas dining room.
I'm not wasting any dreams this Christmas. I've made my wish
upon that star. The only dream of which my list consists is to always be wherever you are. This year there will be no praying for the snow to fall. It would not make a difference to me at all. No, I'm not wasting any dreams. This Christmas I've made my wish and it came true. No, there is no denying I'm as lucky as can be. This year the wishing star has shone its light on me. I'm as happy as a child on Christmas. I've made my wish and it came true. All I want for Christmas